Say hello to the internet. Hello, internet.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, Internet. Welcome to another session of the Dale's traditional Dungeons and Dragons adventures for 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. We are crossing the Desert Mouth Mountains, having gone into the mines of Tethiamar and having first attacked, then been captured by, then divided and then conquered and then taken over the Zentarum base of the mines of Tethiamar. We had the option of going delving deeper into the ancient dwarven ruins there, which the Zentarum themselves had not yet exposed. But we chose not to. We chose to be a little bit more conservative, and perhaps we will return there. Indeed, we intend to. But we are consolidating our power first. Among other things, we intend to go to the Zentarum stronghold, or forward town of Teshwave, where we will provide them with intelligence, for we are now members of the Zentarum. Indeed, we are a sub-faction all of our own in some ways, and we're going to use that to our advantage, whether it means that we subvert them or attempt to gain more power within their organisation is probably something that we either haven't yet decided or that the individual characters have different ideas on. In any case, here we are in the Desert Mouth Mountains. We have liberated 3 married women from their husband, who apparently purchased them as slaves. And now we intend to return them to the Dales and to possibly lands beyond. So, what comes next?
We continue our journey towards Dagger Falls.
Mm-hmm. Very, very good. Okay. You know what? I think, Artisan, you can roll a D100. Okay.
It's my first roll in the 70s. Look at that.
There you go.
Going back in time to the 70s. Alright. The Desert Mouth Mountains receive a fair amount of rainfall. Indeed, they are the rain shadow that breaks, with the Dales being quite wet, and Anarok, a desert, not surprisingly, being very dry. And we have gone over the halfway mark at this point. The Desert Mouth Mountains have a fair bit of rainfall. In that, or a fair amount of water, I should say, because of the melting glaciers, particularly in a time like this, which is summer. Melting glaciers provide streams, seasonal streams, but the heavy rainfall of the Dales that was just mentioned also contributes to the water and can sometimes provide flash floods. So while it's been relatively dry for most of the journey, it suddenly becomes quite the opposite. Heavy grey clouds, too low to make it over the pretty towering mountains, break and turn our bone-dry journey soaking wet. In and of itself, that's not a great problem for us. We are sensible enough not to get washed away. We're hardy enough that the rain doesn't really bother us anyway. But an unusual occurrence can be found when the rain stops and we're just left with trickles of streams that run across the path. And one of these paths has basically dried up, and there's nothing left but the remnants of a trickle of water, like a spilt glass or a leaking water tank, we see a green stain. A green stain that runs across the path in front of us and over the cliff. We could step right over this stain. It's only a few inches wide, but it does go from the mountain, which is stained green as well, and then goes over the cliff in a trickle. You could easily step over it and keep going.
Can I tell if, like a test or something to see if the green is from copper?
Absolutely. Alchemy sounds like the correct test, but history might work as well. Nature.
I'll give them help with alchemy.
Absolutely. Copper. You got it, man. It's copper. There is significant amounts of copper in this water, to the point where if you were to drink it, you would taste it. Probably not going to poison you, but yeah, water with so much copper that it stains the ground.
Hmm. Interesting.
I guess
So-
the downpour washed out the copper that's in these mountains.
Do we have any use of copper?
Not that I can think of.
Already too many coppers in the world.
Yeah.
Just my little joke.
Yeah. I suppose we could just maybe mark it as a reference later and then move on. If everyone else is okay with it.
Yeah, sounds good.
In case we run into it.
More valuable in the modern day.
Yeah.
Who knows? Might have been valuable back then for other applications.
Certainly, bronze is a useful. People still, iron is technically better, technically stronger, but bronze is easier to work with, more beautiful. So yeah, and of course, copper coins are still worth something.
Well, when we have like 15,000 gold worth of ore, I don't think that much matters.
Fair point. Fair point. All right, well, I'll put down a copper coin to mark where we noticed it. And yeah, we've basically reached the middle of the mountain range here. There is the turnoff to the Castle of the Cat, the Barbican Gate. It's a few miles long. Have we any reason to go up the Barbican Gate to the Castle of the Cat?
Not that I can think of. We didn't receive.
Yeah, we haven't met Misha yet.
No. So we're not particularly interested in some ruin that may or may not contain a lot of goblins, and so we likely keep going. Eleanor, D100, please.
D100. Well,
All right. At an elevated position of about 60 feet, on a not particularly steep incline. It's steep, but it's not steep compared to the majority of the mountain, which is virtually vertical. You see a raggedy mountain lion, a raggedy cougar or puma. It's in bad condition. You can see its ribs poking out through its hide. Its fur is patchy. It probably has mange or some other disease. It's still a little bit wet from a recent downpour, and it looks at you hungrily, but it doesn't appear to be foolish enough to take on a group of humans of our size. It gives a bit of a roar and backs away, not unlike an oversized cat does when it sees a dog.
Do we have any meat that we can throw at it?
I take out my heavy crossbow, but I'm not aiming at it. I'm just having it at the ready.
Yeah.
Well, there's no reason to hunt it now. It's
Oh,
frozen.
I ain't
What do
gonna
they
hunt
think?
it. I'm just making sure. I'm just holding it for our safety, just in case it attacks us.
For my safety, you say? Be more worried about you.
I'm worried about everyone as a whole because we're all like legs on a spider.
Well, I
Yeah.
say we simply leave it be.
Mm.
It's not bothering us. We have no need to bother it.
The
Agreed.
Any
mountain
y'all,
lion. Yep.
any y'all know any magics that could possibly heal this animal?
Hmm.
It
I
looks
do.
pretty bad.
I suppose I could, but I don't suppose it's going to allow me to get close enough to do that. I don't think it would understand my intent.
We don't have any
Well,
ranged healing, right?
Oh,
I don't think so. I don't. All my healing requires touching.
Same. Can I throw a ration at it?
What's your ration made of?
Dried meat?
Yeah,
why do you have a
sure.
ration?
In case anyone else wants it.
Yeah, snatches it up and gobbles it down and then retreats, but it doesn't treat you any better than it did before the meal. It's um, still just as aggressive or defensive as the case may be, and um, when we go past, it leaps down to where we were and sniffs around, hoping to find something more. But of course, there's nothing more to be found. Carrick, a D100, please.
Will do.
So this is how we do random encounters. Get 2 done in fucking 4 minutes. That's good.
15.
Okay. All right. Now, as mentioned, the slopes here are nearly vertical in some cases. They are very steep. It's not uncommon for a slope to be at 70 or 80 degrees. I assume that you know that 90 degrees is straight up. And we see a huge lizard, like as big as a modern crocodile, good 4 meters long, or 12, 13 feet long, pretty big. And this massive lizard is vertical, like a huge gecko, alongside one of these really super steep parts of the mountain, perhaps about 80 feet up, 70, 80 feet up, and its head is craned over, bent over, and it grazes on grass or lichens or some vegetative matter. While the body is nearly vertical, the head is nearly horizontal, grazing on. It might be eggs, but whatever it is, you can't really see it. But it's eating something. Now that's this kind of a sight to see in and of itself. But the lizard doesn't act timidly the way the mountain lion did. On the contrary, it doesn't seem to be bothered by our presence at all. And that's probably because it's domesticated. It has a saddle.
Oh, how curious. A riding lizard.
Yeah.
You don't see those every day.
You said we can't see what it's eating from here?
No, but it's up on a shelf, so it might be like a bird's nest, or it might be a small bush. Um, it looks down at you briefly, and then keeps munching, and then looks over at you again and chews its cud or whatever it is that it's chewing. Probably some vegetation, since eggs don't need to be chewed. And it keeps looking at you with its one eye on the side of its head, while it mungs out on its mung beans.
can I look around for like a signs of an owner or something?
Absolutely, perception check. No sign. No sign of an owner anywhere. No sign. Like you look over the cliff, no one's fallen onto the ledge and then over the cliff. No where it's come. You can't see any tracks, so it's probably come from up within the mountains rather than where we are. So instead of coming along the ledge and going up, it's probably come down over the mountains. But in any case, you don't see anyone. No weapons, no traps, no ambushes, no mates, no other lizards. Just this one lone riding lizard with saddle and reins.
Does it appear to be a high quality saddle or something that was thrown together with what was laying around?
No, it appears to be pretty good. We call it a military saddle, or no, an exotic saddle is the right word. Call it an exotic saddle, because it's not any saddle that's not made for horses is exotic. And yeah, it looks pretty good. Looks like it was made of lizard skin or snake skin, something like that. Some sort of reptile, probably another giant lizard.
It's ironic.
Waste not, want not. Yeah, kind of right, But I guess it's only as ironic as making a saddle out of horse leather.
It's usually
Which I'm
cow
sure the
leather.
Mongols did. Yeah, it would usually cow leather. I'm quite confident that the Mongols would have used horse leather if they used saddles at all. I don't know if they did.
I think
I don't-
they just use stirrups.
Yeah, I think so. Blankets, yeah.
What kind of creatures are known to ride riding lizards? Because they seem like a pretty unusual amount.
Yeah, sure. A history check is likely what you're after. I can't think of a better skill.
Yeah, could I do the check?
Absolutely.
Go for it. I'll roll as well, but I'm not very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lady Eleanor, you can probably theorise, and Isabella can confirm for you. Underdark races, predominantly Drow, also Dwerga, but some of the more advanced hobgoblins, and basically anything that lives in the Underdark. Riding lizards are pretty uncommon on the surface, since horses are a more practical choice, but horses are a very impractical choice in the mountains, so it might not be from the Underdark, it might be from some mountain valley.
I'm not riding my horse at the moment. I'm letting it just make its own way. Figure
Horse
it
doesn't like the lizard, didn't like the fucking lion either for that matter. Sorry to interrupt, but yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I'm curious what it might be munching on.
I suppose because my perception's quite good. Can I look up and describe the plant to like what it's trying to eat
Yeah.
as we go?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, it's some kind of mountain bush. It's not like a small pine tree or anything. It's a ferny bush. You don't get a lot of trees at this altitude, and you don't even get a lot of bushes for that matter. But there's enough water that a few are growing here, and this lizard is taking advantage of that. Some kind of fern.
I suppose because I just remember I can't exactly describe the plant. So I suppose if there's one nearby, I'll just sort of point at it and then point at the one up above.
Yeah, that's a good way of doing it. A bristly, thorny, hardy plant that can thrive in both extreme wet, extreme dry, extreme cold. It's a tough little salt bush.
Does the
Well, this is not bothered by us, doesn't care.
Does he happen to have any saddlebags or containers strapped to it?
No saddlebags. Just reins and a saddle.
Well, then seems to me that this is a mount without its rider, just living in the mountains. Seems like it's not aggressive, so I'd be fine to just leave it be. Alternatively, if any of you want to try your luck, I suppose you can attempt to gain its favor. I'll back you up if it turns hostile.
Not really worth the time, I don't think. We should just keep moving.
Yeah.
Very well then.
All right. So that was Flightless's roll. Isabella, D100. Look at us go.
I think it's mainly the combat encounters that take a really long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and like the mountain lion could be a combat encounter if you wanted it to be. Yeah,
It's just a mountain lion, though, unless it's not.
Hey,
unless it's not.
I want that 20 XP.
Indeed. Yeah, in the 20 gold piece mangy fur. All right. You travel on a little bit further, and now we're going down the incline. At this point, it's all downhill from here. One of those unusual expressions that could be either good or bad, depending on the context. So it's all downhill here, and we hear the sounds of some people calling out in the dwarven tongue. We hear the tink, 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 tinking of hammer on steel, like massive nails, and it reveals itself to be a trio of dwarves that are abseiling quite carefully. And when we come around the corner of the switchback, we find them in the unfortunate position for them of one at the bottom, one at the top, and one halfway down an 80-foot cliff, which will bring them onto the level of us. They're probably about 200 feet away, and being in such a difficult position, they don't exactly panic, but they pretty much panic. You know, it's they are so vulnerable that they're like, oh no, what do we do? The guy on the top gets his crossbow. The guy on the bottom gets his crossbow, but both of them are down now. They have to put their crossbows down so that they can steady the rope for the other guy who's halfway down, and it couldn't be any worse. The guy who's halfway down tries to scramble up, but yeah. So we find them in a very precarious position. The advantage is all ours.
Oh, top of the morning to you. How's it going?
Oh, just fine, thank you very much.
Does it appear that they're going up or down?
Down.
Hmm.
They are laden. They've got the saddlebags now, but they are. They've got they've got backpacks and mining tools and shovels and axes and shields. Like the guys look like adventurers, I suppose.
Artisan would kind of be compelled to help them.
Yeah, perhaps.
Stay where you are, monster.
I want to greet them in I guess traditional dwarvish greeting.
Aye, you know our language. That don't make you our friend.
I guess I could say I was forged by your ancestors. I know you. Well, I may not know you, but I know your people.
Forged by the ancestors, you say? How old are you?
5,000 plus.
They scoff at such an idea. Well, remain where you are, ancient one. I say somewhat sardonically, a little mockingly. We're a little busy right now.
Would you allow us to assist you, perhaps?
No, don't need no assistance. Just stay where you are. He looks nervously at his crossbow.
If he's gonna point at one of the maker marks on what is it? On
I don't think they can make out a maker's mark.
Or just point out that you have it so you can show it to them if we get
Yeah.
closer.
I guess I can claim that I'm a clan crafter.
Oh, the real deal, eh? Just stay where you are a little longer. We'll be done soon.
Very well then. I suppose we will simply keep our distance.
It only takes
Would you
them
like
another
a cup
2.
of tea?
No, thank you. Oh, I'd love a cup of tea. Says the one halfway down the ledge, the fattest of them.
I'll kind of go off to the side near the cliff face and start making a little fire.
Excellent. You find some dry tinder, not that there is much of it, in the on the wet side of the mountains, but you get a small fire going. You're competent enough at that.
Could I I guess, prepare climbing gear in case they need help?
Absolutely. But it doesn't seem that they do. And so there was already one down on the lower level. The fatter of the three descends as well, and the oldest of the three is still up high. And he picks up again his crossbow and adopts a sort of sniper position. Not getting you into his sights, but bracing his weapon for what may yet turn out to be disastrous. And at that point, they're in the sort of position that they want to be. So you're made by the ancients, are you? 5,000 years old. Didn't even know there were dwarves in these there hills that long ago.
Was it the Del Zone? I think?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah.
I guess I would convey to them that in the time of the giants, the Del Zone crafted me.
Oh, well, that's fascinating. Make a persuasion roll, since it's a likely story.
Straight persuasion?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, I am -1 on persuasion. Here we go. Hey!
It's a good thing they're dwarves, because they're -5.
Exactly. Truly, one of the ancient crafts. Then you come closer. Come here. Let me get a good look at you.
I guess I would. And my Soul Defender would walk alongside me.
Magnificent. I'd heard stories of the likes of you, but I never expected to see one with me own eyes. And you're working after all this time. Well, ain't that a testament to the quality of the craft, says the other.
Indeed, it would be. It's why I too have taken up the craft.
You have Zentarum symbols on you, right? Like the party as a whole.
I don't think anyone actually put armor on that we got from the Zentarm.
Did it? Artisan put some on?
Oh, maybe he did. I didn't.
It wasn't marked with it though, right?
All of it
Plague
was.
Mail
Yeah.
was.
Oh,
Yeah, they're it's etched in and even forged in. Yeah.
Isabella keeps maybe like a ring and a small pendant that to the right people would notice it as Zentarum.
But not a tabard or anything that obvious.
No.
I had also said I would, I guess, last game I said I would have a sash or something to cover up the symbols.
Yep, and no one's wearing a black gauntlet or carrying a Nightbringer, one of those maces.
No, I don't
No.
think so.
Oh,
I
well,
think I threw the black gauntlet in my bag.
I am openly displaying my symbol of Seamorph, though.
you're a motley crew if ever I saw one. But if you've got one of the ancient creations, then you're blessed by Maraden and the Mordensimen, the dwarven gods. What an honor it is to then meet you here. You're on your way east, are you? That's where we're going, down to the town of Dagger Falls.
Well, would you like to join us?
Perhaps we don't need to go at all. We've got. Have you got anything to trade? Maybe it is that you've got the supplies that we need.
What is it you need?
Oh, mostly looking for whiskey.
No whiskey. I don't believe.
Blast. I guess we've got a walk ahead of us then, lads.
Consider it motivation to reach your destination.
Ha! That it is. That is exactly what it is. Say, your wives don't speak very much, says gesturing towards the women.
They aren't my wives.
I didn't think that they were your wives, ma'am. Yeah, I know your people are very progressive, but, well...
I think our only...
Captured by bandits, and we helped them on the way back.
Oh, that's a noble deed of you. And what of the crow? I ain't never seen one that big before.
He just sort of, this sort of looks a bit shocked, like, oh, someone noticed him again. It's like, what does he do?
Yeah, he's an uncommon sight for sure, but rest assured, he's a fine fellow and a trusted
Oh.
companion.
I would also voice that you can thank him that I'm standing here.
Oh, well, I can't, I can't believe what a strange event it is to have run across ye. If you don't mind sharing the path, then I don't see any problem in walking alongside you. And the oldest one up on the cliff, he's shaking his head. He's like, "Fucking no, no, don't be fools." But the other two, particularly the fat one, have already extended the graces of hospitality, and you seem to notice his hesitation, but the fat one doesn't seem to notice. So.
Flight will just repeat the "I don't see any problem" back to him, like just to signal that he agrees.
What? You speak the tongue very fluently. Why, you sound just like me old dad. Sounds just like you, he does. No, sounds more like dad. I don't sound like that. I should
Sound
know.
like
I hear my own voice all the time. I don't sound anything like that.
He has quite the talent for picking up the ways that people talk. Unbelievably useful for getting somewhere you need to be.
I ain't never seen a black parrot before, but I guess there's a first time for everything.
I guess I'd also inquire what they were mining, if they care to share.
Well, oh, we found gold! And the other two chastise with the fat one with a look. Hey, we found lots and lots of gold nuggets, we did. Got a big enough hole that it should give us supplies for months.
Ah. Do they have the means to, I guess, forge it into coin?
Oh, I'm not expecting that we're going to have to. The gold's pure enough. It's gold is gold as far as I'm concerned.
All right.
Yeah. Keep quiet about our own hoard of gold.
Yeah, that might be wise.
Don't want to make them jealous.
Yeah. I just like have a pouch on my hip that has probably more than they have.
Oh, I did mean to bring this up earlier, but could Flightless make several forged copies of, like, a transfer notice of what we're carrying?
Sure.
Just kind of
He'll make that
various,
for you.
yeah,
Cool.
various
Don't do the
levels
check
of
now.
gold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't do the check now. We'll do the check when it gets inspected. You think it's
Oh.
good?
Are we off then?
We're just Gareth, come down now, and let's get this over with. And the older one comes and joins them, and he never takes his hand off his loaded crossbow.
I'll
And
offer him a cup of tea to see if he'll relax a little.
the fat one accepts it. When the older one kind of gives him a stern warning, you overhear him say something about, "Ain't no poison that's gonna put me on my ass."
Oh, it's okay.
Yes,
I don't need to poison you to kill you.
that is not reassuring. Yeah, not reassuring. And the older one probably holds his crossbow a little bit tighter. He forgets his what's the word? Trigger
discipline?
Yeah.
trigger discipline. Yeah, he forgets his trigger discipline for a while and leaves his finger there.
My only kid. No need to worry.
Guess I'd also show them evidence of me being a clan crafter of my maker's mark to kind of reassure.
And I guess I get
It's absolutely fascinating.
I get to use the voice. And when I see he put like the finger on the crossbow, he goes, "It's not nice, not polite to hold the crossbow."
Your uncanny ability to mimic things unsettles the older one further, but delights the fattest. And the youngest of the three is somewhere in between, cautious but not paranoid. So a cup of tea later, and a little bit of chat and an inspection of the clan craftsmen. They determine that you are essentially related to them, in effect, or more specifically, they are the descendants of your creators. They are Tediamar dwarves, and Tediamar was a successor state of the Delzoon dwarves. So it's fascinating, absolutely fascinating. Something like an Italian coming across a golem made in ancient Rome, and saying, "Well, my ancestors did that."
Oh, Teliamar, you say? You know, I heard this fascinating riddle from Teliamar. Would you care to hear it?
I do love a good riddle," says the youngest one.
And
yeah.
I was going to say Carrot can repeat it exactly as it says.
Uh-huh.
I have it written somewhere, but I forgot where.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly.
I think I actually wrote it down. Yes, she comes from the heart of the world. She comes from the clouds in the sky. She kills without malice. She sustains the home. She brings life and death. She is greeted with open hands, but none shall embrace her. Who is she?
Is it lightning?
Lightning.
Lightning doesn't come from the heart of the earth. Oh, I guess not. But it might. I never been to the heart of the earth. Might be lightning down there. Don't be daft.
Hmm.
It's got to be lava. Lava doesn't fall from the sky. Oh, it has sometimes. There have been, cataclysms when lava has fallen from the sky. Riddles is not talking about a cataclysm.
We were thinking iron. Does that sound right?
Iron don't come from the sky neither. Maybe in a cataclysm.
What about heat?
I suppose it could be heat. Well, heat doesn't come from the sky. Well, where do you think the bloody sun is?
Maybe fire?
It could be fire. But you just said the fire's not lightning. Well, it's like bloody lightning. Fire, it starts fires, so it comes from the sky and makes a fire on the ground. So they don't really agree with universally with each other, but any of those things could be right.
I can repeat the other two if you want me to actually say them.
Yeah, go ahead. They're not that long.
She is battered but never broken. The hammer strikes her crown and the blade bends upon her back. Yet she sings and never screams. The fire bears down on her face, yet she never burns. Who is she?
My ex-wife, says the oldest one.
No, that's probably true, but I don't think that's quite what we're looking for.
Beats and bears down like you're bashing it. My ex... No.
Your other ex-wife.
Exactly.
His current
Beaten
wife.
and... Yes. Oh, could it be like a father beating his child? You wouldn't hit a girl child, would you? No, I'd never hit a girl child. Only a boy. Boys are much naughtier than girls. Oh, what do you think it is?
Perhaps stone or an anvil?
I like those answers. I don't really bring a lot of fire to the stone, though. Stone don't need tempering. But steel, that needs tempering.
Hmm.
So, what are we thinking? Heat and steel for the first two?
Quite
Could
possibly.
be.
Hmm. And then the last would be she breathes and feeds the fire, but she has no lungs. She sings swords into creation, but has no mouth. Her kiss is cool, but sets the air aflame. Who is she?
I'm sensing a theme here, says the older one. I think these answers are related to each other, like they're all the same riddle, just different parts of it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm seeing a scene here. Are you seeing it too?
So I think you're right. I think the three riddles are just pieces of a larger puzzle.
Aye. Like they've all got their answers, but their answers all seem to be related to smithing.
Well, if the answer to the third is bellows, perhaps the ultimate answer to the three combined is something like forge?
Would be.
All right. That gets us somewhere.
Yes, thank you for the help. It will truly help us in the future, I feel.
Ooh, and thank you for the tea.
Oh, my pleasure.
So these dwarves join our ever-growing party. We continue steadily down the mountain. Grimes, a D100. Billy, for a second there, I thought you were going to be asleep. I really, really did. Ye of little faith. All right.
I've never passed out at a game. How dare you?
I am, it's a sign of how presumptuous and rude I can be. So you travel along merrily for a while. The dwarves sing dwarven songs, songs from the days when Artisan was around. Old Lang Syne, something like that. And as we come around one of the switchbacks, come around a corner, we spot up ahead someone on the edge of the cliff. They're 500 feet or so in front of us, a couple of 100 meters, not that far at all. They have long, curly hair, probably a woman, though it's difficult to tell given the lithe build and the studded leather armor that they wear. It hides the figure, so it could be either a tall, muscular woman or a slender, lithe man. And whoever it is, this long, curly-haired figure is adorned in an old set of armor that bears the sigils of Sembia, the nation to the south, a merchant nation. And they don't seem to even notice you. They have the upwind drafts from the border forest blow their hair aside, and the individual teeters on the very edge of this 1,000-foot high cliff looking down into the border forest below, really uncomfortably close. And all it would take would be for the wind to change direction, and they'd be blown right off the cliff and to certain doom.
To this one, we might need to help.
Yes.
How high up are they? 1,000 feet up?
Well, they are, but so are we. It's on the edge of the switchback, on the edge of the mountain path, and if you look over the ledge, it's 1,000 feet down into the misty forest below. Like, if you guys fall over the edge here, you're going to die. And the same goes for this individual.
Does she seem like she fell off, or she's trying to lower herself?
It just seems like she's standing on the brink, just looking over. The way, if you're a particularly foolish or brave person might attempt to spit over the edge of a mountain cliff or piss off the edge of the world, They're just looking over there. There's nothing to see, just mist and trees, and they're just standing there a couple of 100 feet in front of us. They give you a briefest glance at our party, and then look over the edge of the cliff again.
I don't have a good feeling about this.
Mhm.
What's that?
Welcome back.
Oh, yeah.
You recognize her, Eleanor?
I don't. Although the sigils she wears are that of Sembia. Oh, say she, it could easily be a he. Regardless, I suppose we should make ourselves known.
You're from Cornwall, right? How many
That's right.
Sembians have you killed?
uh, I'm thinking about it. I don't actually know.
Lost count after the 500. No.
I mean,
Oh,
out
I
of character, I
get
don't
it.
actually
You
know.
haven't killed any of them. I see.
If I have killed anybody from Sembia, it wasn't because they were from Sembia, if that's what you're asking.
I suppose it has been a little while since their last war.
Yes. So I'll
Hmm.
call out in the common tongue. They're like, hello there. Might
They
we ask
glance
your
at you.
name?
They glance at you, and you see them visibly inhale, and then exhale again. They don't answer. You just go looking over the cliff again.
Have we had a long rest since last time?
Not since. Not, did we rest in the girl's house? I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
I have a bad feeling about this. It seems to me that this person has lost the will to live, if you catch my meaning. I feel like if we approach, it may be unwise.
Well, if she's lost the will to live, why push forward? Why do anything about it? We don't know her. We owe her nothing.
I feel like I must at least try. Hmm. So I'll sort of lay my halberd against the cliff face on the opposite side and start to slowly approach. Say, my name is Lady Eleanor. I ask again, might I ask how you are? Who you are?
He turns to face you, and behind tear-streaked face, you see a pretty woman. Her tight curls, indicative of her ethnicity, not common in this part of the world at all. Are we not enemies, Cormerian?
Not right now. We're simply two people standing here talking to each other.
I was trained in the ways of killing knights like you. I have the tools to do so. She pats a satchel at the side of her bag, and a pair of rods are sticking out of it. Like how to describe it? Um, kind of like a rolling pin. You can't see what the rolling pin connects to, but she has a couple of rolling pins sticking out of this satchel.
Look like blow darts or something like that?
No, no.
Like dynamite?
Oh,
Yeah,
they're grenades, aren't they?
exactly. Stick bombs. Yeah.
Well, I see, but I don't hold that against you if that is not what you wish to be your future.
I have no future. I have only my past. And my past is nothing but pain. Pain that will soon be over.
Why do you believe that? May I ask what happened?
I I came north with our contingent. I am a sellsword, a grenadier. We were hired by an organization to the north of here. You might have heard of them, the Zentarum.
Definitely have heard of them.
I am the last survivor of my contingent. We did not make it. We were attacked by wolves and panthers and bears all at once. They were following the orders of our Atheling, who herself was riding a giant raven. I survived, but now I have an affliction, a disease. It has stripped me of my humanity, and now I have no will to live.
This
Well, you must have
disease-
some will to live. You're at the cliff, but you haven't jumped yet.
I have no will to die either. I feel like a leaf blowing on the wind, and I wait for the wind to change and to blow me off.
What is this affliction?
I am a monster now. I grow fangs. I change form. I have a curse which brings out the beast in me.
You have the black blood.
What is black blood?
He'll
that
look
is-
up and just go lycanthropy.
Is that what it is called when you turn into a panther?
I think it's a slightly different name, but yes.
My humanity is gone. Now I am a cursed monster. And the world does not need more monsters.
That's not quite true. Monsters can be quite useful in the right situations.
Name one.
Points at himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Points at myself.
Because he has 3 curses on him. That's 3 more than that's 2 more than lycanthropy.
Huh.
I beat you.
Then you admit that you are monsters as well?
Oh, I'm not a monster.
Yes, he has a sort of
Yes.
heel shrug.
I've done monstrous things, but you're always given a second chance to change.
You're only a monster if you choose to be.
What if you have no control? What if your curse is such that you lose control and you are a danger to everyone that you will ever meet?
You just got to learn how to use it. Where to be in the right situation.
So you needn't abandon hope. There are many who suffer from your condition who have learned to master and control it.
Many in this region, for example.
Yes, and in fact, as I recall, like in out of character, didn't we visit the what's his name? Actually, did we know they were lycanthropes?
The
man and his
werebear?
wife. Yeah, the werebear and his wife who argue a lot.
Didn't
Then,
we
yeah.
also run into Ace throwing a party?
Yeah,
Before?
but I think her comrades were all murdered by Ace.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Could
Yeah, just-
try to see if a werebear would kind of teach her how to control it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to suggest. Yeah, see whether we could introduce her to 2 of them, and see if they would perhaps take her under their wing until such time that she's able to control her lycanthropy.
Or a tribe of Malar people are a good influence too.
Mhm.
I feel like
Or
the
you could
werebear
always-
too is. Oh god.
No, you could always come back to Zentarum. They could always use more bodies to throw into the fray.
Killing is my profession, and I am better at it now than I ever was.
Mm-hmm.
You can stab me, and my wound will heal. It is unnatural.
You learn to control that, and you'll be a fine weapon.
You are an officer?
Yes, I am. I hold the rank of Inquisitor.
An inquisitor? I... What... What would you offer me?
Well, you got to learn to control it, but there's a camp outside of the forest here in the desert. Trilliumar is what they are calling the place. Go there and tell them that Isabella sent you here. You'll get good food and some pay in the meantime, and we'll find a position for you.
And I will fulfill my duty, which was to find this camp in the first place. That is where we were meant to be sent. I will be able to... Our contingent, our mercenary company, will at last fill its contract. If I make it there.
Yes, that is true. You can fulfill your comrade's dying goal.
Yes. Yes, Inquisitor. I will do this. I will honor the memory of our company. I will honor our contract.
Very good. I look forward to seeing you again.
Cornmirian,
Yes.
Maria. My name is Maria Balboa.
My name is Lady Eleanor Mayran. Pleasure to
Huh.
meet you. Give her a courtly bow.
I should have known that you were a lady. Only in Cormir would they reject the rights of a woman and then give her armor and call her lady.
Yes, our society is not perfect. I will admit that.
You are a backwards people, it is true.
Well, I wouldn't exactly say that. There are virtues to be found in our society. Many flaws, too. I hope perhaps
Yes,
one day I can root out some of those flaws.
I cannot deny that there are virtues. You are a backwards people, but you are a virtuous people as well.
I'll sort of spread my arms apart and offer an embrace and an invitation to step back from the edge of the cliff. In doing so,
Looks over the cliff, and she takes it, and comes forward and embraces you, but finishes it with a handshake instead.
fair enough. Give her a handshake and up close to her, I say, "Do not give up hope. Even with your condition, perhaps there is a way to remove the affliction. I myself suffer from a similar curse of my own doing, one that is, I am sure, is not easily lifted, but I have not lost hope. My soul belongs to an evil god, and should I perish before finding a way to free myself of this bond, I will be, no doubt, tortured for all of eternity. But I still believe there is some way that I might be freed and spared this fate."
Look at me being lectured on a Cormirian about how to be stronger. My father would be disgraced.
And do him proud.
Hey, my lady. For him, For my company. For my country.
That's the spirit. Well, is there anything we might provide you as you go on your way? Some provisions, perhaps?
Have you any wine?
Unfortunately not. If we had, you can be sure that the dwarves among us will have already consumed it.
Huh.
They've only been with us half an hour, but I think they already found 2 wineskins.
Then I suppose that I will have to take your words and use them to give me courage instead of the bottle.
Mhm.
Yes.
If you should see a halfling riding a giant raven, please kill her for me.
I would be delighted to.
I did not realize inquisitors could be so gentle and polite. I have much to learn, it seems.
But this is all just a game, you understand.
Her smile vanishes. Yes, we are but pawns on a chessboard.
Well, maybe one day you can become a knight.
Maybe one day you will be a bishop and you a queen.
Mhm. Have a safe journey out west. It's not easy, but you can make it.
Farewell, she says. She turns into a panther.
And he'd be like, you conducted yourself rather well. That Lady Eleanor's voice, just,
Ah.
trying to give a bit of encouragement.
Gives a bit of a row row.
Step back from the sudden appearance of this panther
Mhm.
and allow her to be on her way.
The monster bounds on off the mountain and is not seen again. Alright. At last, we depart the mountain range. It takes another 2 days, but on the evening of the second day, we find ourselves outside of the Brightblade Tombs, a dwarven ruin that we theorize might connect to Tethiamo.
Guess I'll bring this up for those in the party that might not be aware of this fact. And say, well, as we're passing by, you think it might be worth taking a little look inside? Shall we?
Have we already gone inside before?
Not
I
in
think
this
so.
Yeah, we went as far as we could before reaching a door, and then we decided to better of it, and then went back.
Really, I'm sure we've never been to the Brightblade Tombs in this campaign.
Yeah, no, there's I don't think you've been to a door, no.
We talked about a door.
We had the Brightblade Tombs map, and we went in because the history dwarf guy introduced it to us.
Yeah, we
And
talked about it, though we never went in.
we went in because I showed him that I was a clan crafter, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'd be happy to."
Yeah, we'd learned about it, but I'm 99.9% sure we didn't in this particular campaign.
I'll have a look. I'll see if they're the monsters have been killed. That'll
Yeah, that's
reveal
fine.
it.
Did we?
No, we haven't been in. No.
Oh, okay.
Well, then I'll ask, shall we scout it out and see if we can confirm this, what we've been told, or shall we keep going?
What about all this gold and iron we are carrying with us? You just want to leave it out here?
Yeah,
We
good
could hit it
point.
on the way back.
Actually, now that you make that point, I realize that we have additional people in our party that whose lives I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to endanger. So let's press on.
I like how you think about the lives and I think about the money.
Absolutely. All right. Dagger Falls is not far from here, and after one more night at the base of the mountain, we make it back at last to the quaint little town that we haven't seen for quite some time.
Mm-hmm. Am I able to get through the gate?
You're not dressed as a Zentarum, are you? You've got a few icons, but the party are somewhat known. You know, it's hard not to recognise us. And we've done it. You know, we've done a little bit for these guys already, haven't we? They know that we rescued the slaves, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So you're ushered in on that reputation alone, without any further inspection.
Perfect.
Oh, now that we're here, I would I guess it's time to part ways with the 3 women that I rescued.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. What do we do with them though? Just like say, you know, welcome to town. Go be a
Well, this is
There's a
prostitute.
bunch of other women over there. Go make friends with them.
Yeah,
Really
Is,
intense.
one of them
yeah.
was a Dale Lander, so I assume this
She's home.
region is her home.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good point. So the Dale Lander is home. She sees some of her friends, and they buy her a drink, and she'll introduce her sister wives. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask her if she could seek out the recent influx of Badine women and introduce her sister wife to them.
Absolutely, and it's not long before she finds them, and the sister wives fairly uncomfortably part. They'll probably remain acquaintances, um, but shared trauma is not always the best way to forge a friendship.
I'd also like to give each of them, like, I'm sure they recovered some manner of valuables from his house, but each of them a small amount of the gold ore that we have.
Goes a
Enough for
long
them
way.
to live comfortably for a month or 2, so they can settle in.
Yeah, they are very appreciative of it, and the woman from the Moonseed would like to keep going north up to Tershwave.
Well, you're more than welcome to accompany me.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
rather convenient.
She will do so.
Hmm.
Alrighty then. If we intend to create new equipment and the artisan to do his thing, I suppose we should secure a forge.
Should there be one here?
Forge there is at the steel works.
Would I be able to speak to the owner of it and negotiate being able to use it?
Howdy. Don't mind me for asking, but what the hell are you?
I am an artisan.
You're some kind of golem?
Much more advanced than that, but for way of conversation, we can go with that.
Are you his owner? Points to
I,
whoever's there.
I have no owner.
An independent golem that thinks it works with art. Well, I'll be damned. This place just gets more full of freaks every time I wake up, it seems.
Would I be able to use your forge?
Well, it's kind of private property, you see. We don't just let any old robot walk in here and start hammering away, whether he calls himself an artisan or not.
Well, perhaps you might let him use it on my behalf. Maybe we could rent its services.
Or a chance you could. How much are you proposing on a daily basis?
Well, we would plan to use it for roughly a month, if that is
A
okay with
month?
you.
Well, that mean I wouldn't be able to use it myself for that month. I assume that you're going to be wanting it fairly constantly.
That would be correct.
Sounds like a lot of business that I'm going to lose.
Could you estimate perhaps how much that would be? Mayhaps we can cover it.
30 days?
And Flightless will point out that, well, he had to cite to Artisan for him to translate that he needs to sleep, but Artisan doesn't, so he can use the forge when the man after hours when the man is sleeping. Because if he works for
Good
8
point.
hours, that means Artisan will have the 8 hours during the night.
Well, that's all good and dandy, but I'm going to have some security to watch you here, so they'll have to be paid for as well.
Would
Not a good idea, but you understand that I can hardly just entrust a golem not to look after my property when I ain't here.
Fair enough. I understand that we are mostly strangers to you.
do we have
Yeah, very
a
strange. Stranger and stranger.
do we have the thing in this campaign from the Lord? I forget what it's called, but it's basically they're like saying that we're working on his behalf as well.
I don't think we're like promoted in that way in this game. As far as I'm aware. So I'd ask then, how much do you think it would cost us to rent the services of your forge and to pay for the people to keep an eye on Artisan as he works?
Well, I could do a lot of business in a month, and it would be more convenient if you worked during the night. But as I said, there are going to be extra expenses incurred. Would you consider me greedy if I asked for 1,000 pieces of gold?
I think 1,000 is pretty reasonable.
If we have an agreement, then I don't mind drawing up a contract.
All right then, are we in agreement? I look to everyone else who is there, at least Artisan.
How
I
about even 900? 30 gold a day.
That seems like a very fair discount for a very fair lady.
Oh, thank you. I'll tip my hat.
was going to offer that I could also make superior weapons for his business as well, if he provides the materials.
Well, I would not say no to you using your spare time in my favor. If you don't have to sleep, then I'd be happy to take you on as an extra hand during the daylight hours, if only to turn my ore into steel.
Would we be able to drum down the price then? If I was to work as well?
Oh, I think we've already got a pretty good agreement, but what the hell? I'll knock another round figure of 100 off there, provided that you are as good as you claim to be.
He certainly is.
You ever work with silver?
I would have, right?
Sure,
Probably for the dwarves, yeah.
because we are something of a jeweler here as well. Most of what we do is simple enough, horseshoes and hose, but we make some fine crafts as well. Say, I got something unusual. Maybe y'all take a look at it and tell me if you know what it is.
Do I not?
I am very confident that it is magical, and I'm trying to understand what properties it might have and what value it might attract as a result. And he produces an intricate design of a pair of snakes entangled, eating each other's tails, wrapped into multiple figures of 8. It's an exotic piece, probably an amulet of some sort, but it's unlikely that you've seen anything like it before. Identify spell will be exactly what you need. It is the Ouroboros of Arcane Defense.
Ooh.
Hmm.
That's a really, really good effect.
Yeah. We
I
can-
would love that.
Identify and purchase. Just.
I don't know what it's worth, but I ain't got no use for it neither.
Hmm. Could try to
Why don't you
lie
make-
about its worth, but I can't really.
Why don't you make an offer?
Well, it's a very fine piece of jewelry. Would you take 500 gold for it?
Oh no, I wouldn't take 500. No, no, ma'am.
Oh, that's
Uh,
not a, or that's too much. 250.
I know that this thing's real old like. I got a museum down there in Serpent Bridge. I was figuring that maybe they would take it off my hands.
About 850.
I was thinking more in the 2,000 gold piece range.
$1750.
Make a persuasion roll.
I give it advantage.
Give it advantage.
Yeah.
Very persuasive golem.
18.
Apparently.
Well, I ain't gonna accept 1750 from the likes of you. But from the likes of her, then perhaps I would.
Oh, well, thank you. You're too kind. I'll reach
Well,
over and give him a little kiss on the hand.
it seems that my kindness has been repaid sevenfold. So yours. I don't know what you do with it, but I suppose you all do. Ouroboros. Got a pretty spectacular name.
So, how are we paying for this?
We can give the straight gold ore.
I figure that of all people, it'd have more value to him. Like, it's already good enough as currency, but to someone like him, it'd be even more useful.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I'll take the. Or how much is that silver ore worth? 38 pounds of it?
If it's
We're using.
ore,
Yeah. I don't remember
the ratio of ore is just for simplicity's sake 50%. So, and there is 50 pieces to a pound.
Okay.
So, how much is it? I'll do the math for you if you want.
38.
38 equals 19, and 19 pounds times 50. What's that, like 9,800 or something? 950, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 950 silver, and which
Oh.
means 95 gold.
95 gold. Okay. I say we do the silver first and then take the rest out of the gold.
We were going to make powdered silver for
Oh, that's
someone's
right.
house.
That's why we
I don't
got
need
this
that
silver.
much though, so just a few pounds of silver should be enough. Actually, I'm not sure how much. So it's worth 95 gold, all of that silver.
Yeah.
So I might need most of it then, actually, because something like ceremony, I think it's like 50 gold pieces worth of silver ore, silver dust, or something like that.
25, but yeah.
25.
All right. So we'll keep the silver. Just taking all the gold.
Yeah, and we have 15,000 worth of gold. So if we take off the 800 and the 1750, that would be 2550. Right?
I think so.
Yeah, 2550 gold.
Which would leave us with
I think you did your math backwards.
12,450.
But yeah.
I think that leaves us with 12,450 worth of gold ore. All right, I will amend the party wealth to reflect this.
All right.
I'm not sure how many pounds of gold that would be, so I'll just put gold.
Yeah, yeah. Now who wants to take it?
Who wants to take it?
Yeah.
Oh, the ring. And I could certainly benefit from it, seeing as dexterity saving throws are god awful for me, and I've got no other way to defend myself against spells.
Mhm.
I have Shield Master, which can do some of what that is, so I don't need it much.
Yeah, I was building this character as an anti-wizard, and that is the perfect anti-wizard thing.
Right. Yeah.
But you can have it if you like. Saying it
Alright.
would be very beneficial for me as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're getting your plate armor right now, so I'll hold on to it for a little while, then give it to you.
Speaking of armor, what am I making for each person? We got
I can't
plate
wear
for.
armor, so
Okay. What about weapons?
I'm not sure we'll have time for those, but I guess if you did, then a +1 halberd. Not +1, sorry. Because we can't make
Superior.
magic weapons here, can we? So superior halberd.
Halberd and plate.
I mean, a breastplate would be nice, and a shield.
Breastplate. Breastplate and a shield.
Yeah, I could probably just buy darts.
You need any weapons?
Yeah, just darts.
Darts?
Yeah, like the little throwing things. Because
Anyone else need stuff?
no, I'm good.
Okay.
Unless you wanted to try inventing a 6-shooter.
I can try
You
that.
lose a limb or something over it.
Yeah.
We have that armors and equipment guide.
Yeah, I know.
Where is that thing?
The consequences
go.
of failure are quite severe.
Yeah. Can lose a foot, lose an eye, lose a hand, horrible scars, deaf and blind, vital organ damage.
Yeah, we don't have greater restoration right now to be able to undo the effects, so it'd be really bad.
Yeah. That could probably
That's the
wait.
revolver. Hey, I got a proposition for y'all. If this Ouroboros fascinates you so, you see, that thing came from my own lands. It did, down by the Serpent River, down near Serpent Bridge. It was just found, come out of some excavations that we made recently. Only them excavations are reached a little bit of a roadblock. Like, I got some workers that have been going in deep into some kind of cavern. I ain't sure yet if it's natural or otherwise, but if this icon is interesting to you, maybe you'd be interested in having a peek around in there and seeing if you can't find anything more like that. I'm sure we could come to some arrangement that suits us all. You know, I ain't much interested in sorcery. I'm more of a practical type of fella. Maybe we could come to some kind of agreement on a way to split whatever you find in there. If you're into that kind of spelunking.
Interesting proposition for sure. Do you have any more information on this roadblock of which you speak?
Well, it's got teeth. See, a lot of my workers are reptilian, like. They don't really mind the water. They love it, in fact. And they're quite brave, too, and, well, they don't have the kind of sentimentality to their own kind that we civilized people do. So a few of them have been eaten by something in there, and don't stop the rest of them. They're a little bit cautious. They're not fools after all, but they don't get all hung up like when one of their kind dies the way women do.
Is it a incredibly large entity, or is it multiple entities?
Well, I ain't seen it with my own eyes, but they got varying reports. Some say that it can swallow them whole, and others say only big enough to rip off your arm. In any case, it's got to be dangerous, whatever it is.
Sounds like a fun challenge. Might need to check it out one day.
I look forward to that. I do hope that we can make an agreement that suits us all just dandy.
I forgot I need to get a holy symbol.
Should be able to do that fairly easily.
25 gold, yeah, depending on what it is.
This is a jewel after all. You could probably buy one from him.
Yeah, exactly. You can,
Holy symbol to see them all.
Yeah, it's probably like a chalice or something like that.
Yeah, the symbol is emblazoned on the front of my character artwork, like on their chest. It's
yeah.
like a chalice with a face on the front of it.
So if you want literally a chalice, that can be made. If you'd prefer like an amulet in the shape of a chalice, then that's fine.
I think an actual chalice would be cool.
I think it is a good choice. Yeah, like it's quite literally a holy symbol. 25 gold pieces, if that's what you're spending, is not much. They'd probably make it out of sterling steel rather than silver, since a chalice made of silver would be worth a lot more than 25 gold.
I suppose he'll look to Eleanor for like guidance, like what it should be made of.
Suppose
Well, it's silver plated or solid silver. It's up to you. Yeah.
Something practical, I suppose. Although it is a symbol of nobility, of course. So if you wish to make it reflect that, then I won't stop you.
You can encrust it with diamonds if you wanted to. You know.
That is all the
Wouldn't
party's
be-
wealth.
Exactly.
It wouldn't be considered over the top, considering it's a symbol of nobility, for it to be something very extravagant. But at the same time, it can also be practical.
I guess just like how much would it be like just to be like mostly silver then?
125 gold pieces is a good figure for a big, heavy, sturdy chalice. and then you can put some more jewels in it if you want to increase the value, particularly if you've already got the jewels yourselves. But yeah, as I said, a 25 gold piece one would either get you a copper version or a steel version that's plated with silver.
Hmm.
Considering the investments we'll be making, suppose you could go a little bit over the top with it, like a few hundred gold on something pretty valuable.
I guess just like
Absolutely.
plain silver one to like, because it needs to be like royalty, but he wants maybe to show that he's not royalty himself, like he's more like of the, like the servant part of the nobility. Like, you know what that mean?
Yeah. Yeah, the more you spend on it, naturally, obviously the grander it is. But by spending more on it, it becomes, because it is a holy symbol, becomes more suitable for more occasions. Let me give you an example, right? Like your little country chapel out in the middle of nowhere, might have a something quite simple, whereas the grand chapel in the capital city will naturally have something more grand. And I think you understand what I'm getting at.
I think just the 125 GP one.
Good, absolutely. That's like kind of
Just
upper
silver
medium range.
one.
Yeah. It's a real treasure. Being that expensive, it's a real treasure.
Good. 125, you say?
Yeah, I think that's a good decent one.
I'll deduct that.
While we're at the jewelry, dude, we can also probably sell a lot of the stuff we have.
The random assorted jewels that we have. Yeah.
Yeah, and jewelry.
So let's see, what have we got? We've got a silver ruby ring, a gold necklace we've got a gold emerald pendant, 3 diamond-studded silver earrings, bloodstones, hematite, a whole bunch of different things.
Mm.
Although I might, inspired by Flightless making it a rather ostentatious holy symbol, I might repurpose the gold and emerald pendant and have Artisan perhaps inscribe, make that my holy symbol.
Excellent.
That way I can have an expensive one myself, but not actually take it out of the party fund.
Mhm.
Although I suppose I am by not selling it, but you know what I mean.
What do you guys think the chances he would buy Zentara marked full plate would be?
I don't know. Although I think it wouldn't hurt to try, because even if he doesn't buy it, it's still like, hey, you killed a high-ranking Zentarum to take that. It's pretty impressive.
Unless he sells for Zentara.
True, we don't know unless we ask, I suppose.
I suppose with that, since I know thieves can, like, is this still like giving me any like clues as to like, I guess, illicit like businesses?
Yeah, absolutely. Thieves' Cant, good call. With Thieves' Cant, you will notice that there are indications here that he has collected Zentarum iconography. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
Was it? I have thieves can.
Yeah. So, like, if you think of I don't know. I probably shouldn't use real world analogies, so I won't. But if you walk into like certain businesses, then you might find certain religious symbols that would indicate that this product is suitable for certain religions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it is here. You see. It's not like we deal in Bay Knight equipment, but rather there is maybe molds. Among the molds, there are molds that would be suitable for making Bay Knight etchings, things like that.
So, recently we came across some
Well, I guess
interesting
I'll
equipment.
I guess I'll just make an excuse to like get Artisan aside and like give him the warning to pass on to like other people, because he can speak more easily.
Yeah, well, I think um, yeah, that can probably be taken care of by Isabella.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying, sorry, Isabella?
Oh, so we recently came across some more peculiar equipment. You wouldn't perchance be interested in it?
Well, well, if it's raw materials, we can always forge it down into its base components.
Um, guess we'll pull out one of the Nightbringers.
Where the hell did you get this?
I know people.
People that you've killed?
I know people that wanted them dead.
Yeah, I'll confirm. There's no way in character I'm going to be able to hold back boasting that we killed multiple Banite priests.
Y'all have committed deicide?
It's more complicated than that. They were priests, yes.
I
They
see.
were priests of Bane.
We understand that regardless of your own religious convictions or otherwise, that it is a dogmatic offense to steal from a temple.
Oh, don't get me wrong. We were definitely provoked. It's not like we killed and then took these in cold blood.
All the same, whatever personal gripe you might have had with individual members of the cloth, this is a relic belonging to the broader temple. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you were to come across some kind of symbol of the Morning Lord, it wouldn't be the property of the priest who bears it, but of the god himself. Does that make sense? Am I making sense to y'all?
It does, only that I have no respect for the god or his clergy.
Also, on Flightless, like, it makes sense, but he thinks this guy is just maybe doing this just to maybe like seem threatening. So we would like offer to like so then he's going to be like this threat, give us this threat, and then offer to take it for much less than it's worth. Like,
Mhm.
can I try to tell? Like, is he genuinely trying to chastise us, or is he trying? Is this like
Yeah.
to get more money from us?
Yeah, go ahead and make an insight check, yeah.
It's pretty clever.
He seems sympathetic to the Baneites. Like, you know, again, not using real world analogies. I've really got to stop doing that.
But
If you, yeah, like he seems genuinely offended that you would kill a priest and then try to hawk his shit. Like that's, you know, enemy religion it may be. That's like fucking low.
I'm gonna adjust my necklace and try to get his attention of the Centaurum Black Fist.
He notices it and says, "So y'all are decorating yourselves in the iconography of the priesthood now."
No, that is not the case. These people betrayed Bane. Well, that's complicated. They betrayed the Zentarum when I was
Oh,
sent there to deal with them.
oh, pardon me, ma'am. Oh, this is some kind of schism, then.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Oh, well, ma'am, if you wish, then I could see it returned to its rightful owners. I'm certain that some kind of reward would be appropriate for such an action.
No, it's okay. I'll take it myself.
I thought you might. I
I
thought you
just
might.
figured I was judging your personality.
Well, I do believe that fear in the Lord is the basis of all wisdom.
Aye, that is true.
Well, praise be that there are still some folk out there whose soul is not weighed down by the burdens of the material world.
Kind of holding in my anger as he's talking about souls and being weighed down, considering the fate of my own soul.
So I thought this guy was scummy before. Keeps on digging.
My lady, I could tell that you were a woman of very high caliber, but I see now that you are more than a little touched by the divine. I cannot help but feel confused about this situation, but I must say that if there is anything that I can do to help your uh, cause here in this eclectic town, then I am at your service.
You know any the helping hands that would be willing to come with to me to Teshwave?
Oh, why, I do not really know any, but as it turns out, if we got this golem doing my basic duties, I'd be happy to send my apprentice with you. They is not what you might call all that useful, but if you did need a hand, then I would be remiss to deny a holy woman all the assistance that I could provide. Failing that, my lady, there are elements within the gods who might prove sympathetic to your plight.
I'm really just looking for guys who look tough on the road. I'd hate to run into anyone trying to be smart as I'm moving the supplies.
Look, I'll have a word with the captain and see if I can't get a little bit of extended leave for a handful of individuals who would be more than happy to aid you in your cause.
Oh, that is very generous of you. Thank you.
Their
You will be remembered.
loyalty, oh, thank you, ma'am. Their loyalty can be assured.
Uh, upon confirmation that he is a Zentarm sympathizer, can I tell if he's Cyric or Bane side of it?
He used the word fear before, and that's a good indicator. Zentara, Bane is the lord of fear,
Mhm.
so That's a that weighs more heavily. More to the point, perhaps, is that Cyric is fucking mad and murderous and erratic, whereas this guy seems anything but cold and calculating and composed and genial and professional.
There was one thing we could show him that would probably like reveal it immediately.
Sure.
I'm just thinking of the wisdom of the thing.
Yeah, let's just show him the symbol of
Yeah, that's what.
the Cyric. Yeah, huh?
I'll show him the scorched child skull.
Oh, that is an abhorrent icon. What are you doing carrying around such a device?
Yes, Bird. What are you doing with that?
He'll turn, because it's quite a complex idea. So he'll try to translate the artisan that it needs to be returned, like to its temple for the fallen.
And I would.
This is religious? Well, I thought that you were just some goddamn psycho.
I thought all religious iconography was to be respected. Say, crossing my arms, clearly upset.
Y'all serious? Do you think that a desecrated baby's skull is somehow holy?
Are you taking back your words now?
I ain't
I
taking
think
back
this
no
is
words.
reasonable.
No. Let me explain. Now, if this is the bones of some kind of saint, then I understand completely. There are some very macabre religious icons out there, and I am not judging the merits of this particular religion. But if you hadn't told me that it was somehow consecrated, then I would pay you to go and take that up to the cemetery and give it the burial that it deserves. I'm not a sentimental type of fella, but I got to say that the death of a baby, that's a little bit too intense even for me.
I get what you say. Like it just needs to be returned. Because we killed the guy who owned it, didn't we?
Where are you taking it to? What temple? Or is this some kind of necromantic thing?
He looks. He I suppose he doesn't know where Osiris' temple can be found. But it's just.
Oh, wait a goddamn minute. The burned skull. Wait a minute. Y'all ain't like contract killers, are you?
No.
Well, hell, that's exactly what y'all, ain't you? Contract killers.
To a degree.
And that's where you got the Nightbringers. It's all coming together now. What business have you in Teshwave? Y'all trying to start you said a schism, didn't you? Oh, I know who y'all are now. And I ain't afraid to tell you that now I'm a little afraid. Hell, I don't think that whether you're going to walk out of this business without killing me, going to come down to the flip of a coin.
We don't want any blood in this town. I was hired through the Zentarum to deal with the mess down in Tiliamar.
Y'all the old Zentarum, ain't you? Y'all the old Zentarum, the old ways, before the Dark Lord came back. Y'all still... I heard that there were still Sirius out there, but I thought they'd all been, well, converted by now. I see I was very wrong.
We are not serious. I have no idea where the bird got that, and if I had known, I would never have associated with him.
I see. So, y'all are carrying around holy symbols of Cyric. Y'all is telling me to my face that they's consecrated items. Y'all got a bunch of Bainite weapons that you claim have come about from your own hands trying to solve some kind of religious challenge. And now you're telling me that, oh, no, he ain't serious. Well, let me tell you this. I know he's not just the Lord of Murder. I also know he's the Lord of Lies.
Both sets of holy symbols were simply taken from our enemies. That is the truth.
Well, the Lord of Lies could swear to my face. What choice would I have but to believe him?
I'm just beyond seething. There's nothing else I can think to say.
But just know this, I have not told you a single lie here today.
You keep a straight face, ma'am, and it's a pretty one. But you'll have to forgive me if I remain skeptical.
I'd call you an idiot if you weren't.
Well, at least that ain't a lie.
I think we're done here.
I do hope so, ma'am. We've already made a contract and I've already accepted the coin. I do hope that this has not been the biggest mistake of my life.
It isn't.
Then prove it. You take that holy symbol, you smash it in front of my very eyes. Lies or not, you're going to piss off the mad god something big with that gesture.
I hold out my
Show
hand
me.
to Carrick. Take it.
You know, it needs to be returned.
Scowl at you, but at the same time, I'm not.
It's one of the few points that you've seen him be strict on, but it's one of the things that he's been told that he needs to do.
Have we just uncovered a sleeper agent within your midst?
I think so. I'm gonna pull out my gun.
No, wait. It's not like that. It is a personal idiosyncrasy of his. He feels compelled to return religious iconography to either to its rightful owners or to someone who can then give it to their rightful owners.
Forgive me,
Give it to
lady,
me then, and I'll take
but I
care of it.
I don't believe your forked tongue no more.
I suppose he'll give a quote of the aggressive drow that you've heard from him a lot. He's like, that's if you. When one of us dies, you take the symbol to the altar, and if you don't, I will pluck you and kill you.
That's something that the god of murder would say.
And he'll pull out his little contract and you know what is it? He has this. He has another forged document, the one of freedom. So you'll hand that to him.
What does
He
that
was
one
once a
say?
slave, but now he's free.
Oh,
You know, he used to belong to the drow, but he forged a document saying that they released him.
Y'all should know by now that there ain't nothing that you can say that's gonna make me believe anyone but her. He gestures towards Isabella.
He was pointing a pistol at the bird.
yeah.
Then perhaps you'd allow me to prove it, Flightless? I'll keep holding out my hand. I will not take it from you.
Okay, he'll pass it to you.
Alright, as you're giving it to me, I'll then find a space in the middle of the shop where I'm not going to damage anything. Place it on the floor, and then with the blunt end of my halberd, smash the skull into dust, basically.
He looks at that at Flightless's for reaction.
He looks like a person looks like when they expect to be struck by lightning.
I lower the gun.
He fully expects invisible drow to come through the door and kill him right now.
Isabella?
Yeah. Oh, I just said I lowered the gun.
Yeah,
I'm
alright,
still holding
alright.
it, but I'm not pointing at him anymore. So, now that that's settled, are we good? There won't be any assassins coming for you. We're not here to kill you.
Well, that was exciting.
Now that we are not serious, I think nothing of smashing his holy symbol. I'm already an enemy of one evil god. I see no reason why I should not make an enemy of another.
And you keep going on about the enemies this, enemies that. You're the one who swore your soul to Bane.
But George just drops as you just freely admit that in front of him.
He doesn't move, his eyes like dart from woman to woman, but apart from that he's just still as a statue.
The murderous intent flashes in my eyes for a moment before my better self gets control of me. I just storm out the shop.
Well, I do believe that you put a bee right in her bonnet.
I know, that's quite easy, isn't it, though?
Yeah, I guess it is.
I guess Flightless will follow Eleanor to make sure it doesn't go anywhere and do something silly.
I say I'm storming off towards the bridge, like down here, near the barracks.
Well, I might have made a lot of money today. Nearly $3,000 in total, but well, it's not easy to buy a resurrection round here.
Again, you're not going to die. At least, not to my knowing.
I'll take your word for that, my lady.
But I should go. Make sure everything's smoothed out and everything will be alright.
I do look forward to our next intimacy, my lady.
It will probably be close to a month, I believe. It's gonna take a while up in Teshway.
He seems relieved at that. Very well.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, well, as you leave, I guess. The gems and jewelry we were going to sell to him. Quickly, shall we do that now?
Yeah.
Because I figured out how much it'll be. So
No.
assuming that I repurpose the golden emerald pendant, that's like deducting the 80%, like there, so 20% rather, because he buys it at 80%. It's 904 gold for everything.
Sounds good. Yeah, he's got that, and gems are very portable, and right now he needs portable wealth because he is about to get the fuck out of Dagger Falls.
Well, I suppose before we sell all the jewels, did anybody actually want those jewels or anything? Should
Nah.
confirm that.
I would just think to maybe adorn the stuff, but that would be all I would use it for.
I just sell them.
There goes all the jewels. And add 904 gold to the party.
If he skips out of town, could I negotiate buying the forge from him? Because that would be dope.
He's still going to own the forge. He's just like not going to be managing. He's going to his summer estate.
Mm.
I thought this was a summer estate.
This is his. Yeah. No, he's building a new one. This is his workplace.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I thought his wife lived somewhere else.
He has property down in Serpent Bridge, but their estate, Silverwater Estate. I'll bring up the larger map and we can have a look where that is. You'll see Silverwater Estate down here.
Yeah. Well, that was interesting.
Was.
When you craft stuff from raw materials beyond the superior weapon craft of additional GP, do you have to still apply GP to it?
Let me see if I understand that. Depends. If it's just mundane equipment, then probably not. If it's magic, then probably yes.
Okay. We don't have a enchantment thing at all, so it would just be mundane stuff.
Yeah. So let's if you have 100, or what is it? Full plate of 65 pounds of steel, I think. That's basically all that you need, as long as you've got the skill and the means, and you have both. So there'll be a skill check involved or something, most likely. But even if you fail that, you can have another go later.
I would have to get a 3 to fail these, but they'll also be at advantage.
And you've got inspiration, so
Your odds of failure are minuscule.
Mm-hmm.
Just out here tempting fate like that? Do you know?
That's she see.
Technically, it's true though.
yeah, it'd be like 1 in
But now the
10,000.
dice gods heard you.
Exactly. I think the odds would be roughly 1 in 10,000 of failure. If you have like a 3 out of 20 chance of passing, and you've got basically 4 rerolls, it's about 1 in 10,000.
Mm.
All right. So that's that.
Oh, do I get some guards to accompany me?
Yeah, absolutely. He manages to get 4 guards to take their long service leave and join you on the road. They're not particularly happy about it because they were going to use their long service leave for things other than guard duty. But when God calls, we answer.
I'll throw them a fair bit of pocket change to make them happy.
It helps, but it's kind of like your Christmas holidays being cancelled. You've worked 50 weeks for the year. You've got 2 weeks off, and here I'm paying you overtime to now work 100 weeks straight instead of 50 weeks straight. It helps, but well, now they're adulting, just like Billy. This is what adulting is all about: having your holidays cancelled and getting compensated for it financially.
Yeah.
All right. I guess then we'll go to Teshwave if there's no further stuff to do in Dagger Falls beyond crafting.
I think I just
Yeah.
mentioned after leaving
Yes.
the shop, I just go down to the waterfront near the bridge. And if Flightless
Yes.
follows me there, then I'll just sit there on the water bank, the river bank. But if he moves beside me, I'll just apologize to him for smashing the holy symbol. I knew that was important to him, like returning it rather was important to him, and that I'll make it up to him by devoting myself to helping him learn his new abilities.
He'll nod to that.
And a little bit later, Isabella will track Flightless down and apologize for pointing the gun at him. She was just caught off guard by the Cyric symbol.
Yeah, he'll nod.
So-
He'll sort of indicate that it was to see, like, what it was. I guess just a faith check on that guy.
Mm-hmm.
murder someone as a sign of anti-Cyric, theocracy. Cyric gives 2 thumbs up.
Deception and murder in one go. Perfect.
Exactly. Okay, that's fantastic.
I'm not a seriously. Watch me stab this guy to prove it.
Precisely, that's right. Like, I'll murder to show that I don't support the god of murder. Yeah.
Isn't that
Wait a
what
minute.
Theodore basically told us to do?
Wait a minute. Hang on. Theodore, a deep agent.
You must kill this person to prove you are not a Sith.
So I have a question. How many things can I craft at once?
Oh.
Just you can only really do one at a time, I guess.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
So you have to spend like 8 hours a day making the full plate, if you are making full plate. But you've got 16 hours since you're basically going it all the time. So you could probably do 2 a day, 2 at the same time. Yeah.
How long would melting down stuff that we have take?
It's kind of negligible. If you're making something, then that's part of the making it process, like making the. When you're probably familiar that when things are forged, they are always melted down. Like you can't take a short sword and turn it into a long sword. You have to take the short sword, turn it into molten steel, and turn that into a long sword. I think that makes sense.
I assume at some point you have to add more metal.
Yeah, exactly, and you can't just tack it on with super glue. The whole thing has to be reforged. There's a good scene of that in
all this time.
I do like the idea of upsetting like blacksmiths, but like forging like the second part of the sword and just welding it on to the short sword.
Yeah, right. Like it works, but then it breaks. Yeah,
it would really upset them.
Yeah, it's a pretty seriously bodged job, right? Seriously bodged job. It's like imagine getting a pair of shorts and turning them into jeans just because you stitch a bit of extra leggings on them. It works. It's pretty offensive, pretty amateur. And you're better off just doing it from home.
You can do really pretty welds and they wouldn't be noticeable.
Yeah, but they also wouldn't be strong. Like the strongest weld is not going to be as strong as a solidly forged blade. I don't think. I might be wrong, but I don't think so.
Usually.
Yeah, but
the parts right next to the weld that are weakest.
Sure. Yeah. The point is the same though, right? Like it's not as strong as something that has been.
I'm not suggesting
properly forged.
It's being just as strong as saying. Just watching the disc, because they put a lot of effort into their craft. You just come up to them, it's like, yeah, I crafted this beautiful second half to this sword and just melted them together, ruining both
There we go.
bits.
Exactly. It's it works, but it's not as good. It is truly a bastardization of the process. All right. So we'll do the rolls for that at the end. Will we do Tesh Wave now?
I suppose so.
Cool. Has your character been to Tesh Wave before?
Yeah, she would have passed through.
Perfect. So I'll give you a bit of information about Tesh Wave, then I'll introduce some characters, and you can decide which are the ones that you are dealing with. Tesh Wave has about 1,200 citizens, which is smaller than Daggerdale, roughly half the size, a little bit bigger than half the size of Dagger Falls. But it has 2,600 soldiers and another 700 monstrous troops, goblins and gnolls and ogres and orcs and shit. So there are more than 3,000 warriors, including the monsters, for a town of just over 1,000 people, which is hideously uncommon. It's almost impossible to support 3 times as many soldiers as the population has, including children and elderly and government officials and so on. So it's a real aberration when it comes to economics. Yeah. I'm sure that towns like this probably do exist. Maybe in America, maybe there is like Fort Worth or Fort Hood or something is bigger than the town that it's connected to. I don't know. Here I go with my real world analogies again. But it's obviously very uncommon because it's almost impossible to sustain it, to support it. When you've got 1/10 as many farmers as you do soldiers to eat the food. Anyway, the military is made up of about 2,000 guards, a bunch of light cavalry, a number of Sembian grenadiers, a whole bunch of mercenary berserkers that come down from the beastlands of Thar, Talos worshippers they are, 100 blackguard knights. Fully equipped knights that are basically paladins, like 100 dark paladins, which is a lot of paladins. 500 goblins, 100 gnolls, 100 orcs, a bunch of ogres, and a bunch of trolls. And these armored trolls are amazing because they literally weld the armor to the troll. They hammer it into their skin, and then they heat the metal so that it melts into their skin, and their skin regenerates and grows over it. It's an incredibly painful process, but it basically makes like cyber trolls. Fuck yeah, cyber trolls. That's awesome. It's a theocratic military dictatorship. The place is ruled by the military, and the military is run by the priesthood. Mm-hmm. The proper ruler is an R-Dragon. R-Dragons being basically the highest rank of conventional Zentarum soldiers. And R-Dragon Gornagor is a fanatic, or rather is a very deeply religious man. So a lot of the R-Dragons tend to be pragmatic generals, more concerned with doctrine than dogma, with military academics than religious instruction. But this guy's not one of them. He is a religious man through and through. There is a cardinal here, Cardinal Gustav. And he is one of the higher inquisitors, and has a lot of authority within the church, and effectively whatever he says, the R-Dragon will do. That's the relationship that they have. If you don't want to deal with people quite that high, then there is a captain who runs the place on a day-to-day basis. While the R-Dragon is busy with governance and the Cardinal is busy with true governance, the captain does all the sheriff's work, all the legal work, all the court work. She is effectively their woman on the floor, their foreman. So yeah, that makes up the military structure. There are others besides as well. Siarophus is the ogre mage in charge of the monsters. This guy is one of the merchants. This lady is one of the merchants. A Bedine slaver. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I think that's and one more, another religious man, but someone who follows Talos instead of Bane. This guy is the spiritual leader of the berserkers, of the barbarians who supplement this force.
It's my boy.
Welcome back, Ragnarok.
How did he end up in that dungeon?
Don't worry about it.
Different story.
Uh-huh. So I would probably start making my way to how's that? Bazarnine?
Yeah, Bazrani.
Yeah, I'd start making my way to her, but I imagine I'd be found by someone else and brought to Cardinal Gustav first.
Sounds good, yeah. So the captain probably discovers a suspicious-looking individual and dragged before the cardinal, who would recognize who you are. The cardinal has a photographic memory.
Hmm.
Well, it seems that you have returned. I was not informed that you would be coming back here.
Yes, my lord. It was truly messed up situation in Teliamar. It was the beholder tried getting me to kill the clergy tried getting me to kill the beholder, and now only the Ardragon is left.
Why did you not kill the beholders then, as the clergy instructed?
Oh, the beholder is dead. But he killed the clergy before we had a chance.
You would be willing to submit to a zone of truce for this inquisition?
Yes, I would.
Of course, of course. So he cast the spell and gets you to, to reiterate. But so far, what you've said is true.
Mhm.
Did you have any personal conflict with the clergy?
They did rub me the wrong way. They felt like they felt higher than you, if that makes sense.
Oh, only a little. I had always found the Inquisitor to be amiable and loyal to the Bainite cause.
Very loyal to Bane Knight it was. The rest of the organization they had a problem with.
Ah, and they saw me as part of that mechanism that they opposed, a bureaucrat then.
To a degree, yes. They were hoping to get your job in the near future.
Ah, well, it seems that you have one-upped them then. You are now getting their job. Am I understanding this correctly?
Oh, is that what you wish of me, my lord?
We do need someone to oversee the production of iron. We are, of course, getting most of our supplies from the Underdark through our Duergar allies, but Tessiomar was providing not just 1/4 of our iron, but the majority of our mithril and adamantine as well.
Yes, and good news on that front. I have encountered an ancient construct of the dwarfs of Tiliumar. And I believe he will be able to open the door deeper into the mines.
This construct is animated. You do not. I had expected you to tell me that you would disassemble it and use its component parts.
Oh no, it is much too intelligent and extremely skilled craftsman to boot.
Very, very fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Ah. Well, we should waste no more time then. I am not anticipating any interruption, but I cannot see everything. It may be that the APES or some other organization has preparing to enact their own plan on Tessiamar. We should act with haste to extract as much wealth from there as we can.
They do need some reinforcements there. There was a lot of men lost in the conflict between the beholder and the clergy.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, we have a force large enough, I suppose, to commit some small gesture. Perhaps another 100 guards and half as many goblinoids.
Oh, that would. I don't know if they'd have room to support that many, but they'd most certainly be appreciated.
Hmm. Very well. Perhaps I will shrink those numbers by half again. 50 guards and 25 goblinoids. That should be enough to hold against anything except the most determined force.
Yes, I think that would be quite advisable.
The loss of the beholders weakens our position there significantly, but if he was seditious, then it was only a matter of time before this time bomb exploded, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I decided fit to promote the art dragon in the area.
Just a moment.
Oh.
You pausing it a second?
To promote the art dragon, or as a sign of gratitude for sticking with the Bay Knight cause.
I think that this was a splendid gesture. You have not only increased his loyalty to the cause, but you have given reward where it is fitting. But I must warn you against attempting to build a faction that is loyal to yourself.
Oh, of course, my lord, I would not dream of such a thing. But it is always helpful to have those you can trust more than others.
Yes, and he seems competent enough. Well, I think that you have acted with divine inspiration here. Very good. And perhaps it is now fitting for a promotion of your own. I should name you then as Supreme Commander of the Desert Mouse Mountains. I cannot give you the Black Road. I would not want to undermine those within Sandfort Shembril, but any land south of Sandfort Shembril shall be yours to govern.
Oh, thank you, my lord. I am most gracious of your offering.
And it is well deserved as well. I have some further questions. You have come from Dagger Falls, no?
Yes, we passed through.
Do you think that they would stand a chance against the massive might we have gathered here?
I don't know if your reports told you of the men I was traveling with, but they are part of the city guard. I don't think they would
Yes.
put up much of a fight.
I see. But it is not the gods so much that I am very worried about. More supplementary powers. Are there any magi or priests of note or grand heroes besides, of course, the old man Morn himself?
I believe there is a new priestess in town, but she doesn't seem anything too special. And there's always adventurers going through, but I don't think a show of force would be the best approach. I think giving them support would be the best way.
Do you think we should support Zaga Falls?
Well, subjugate through more political means.
Assassinations then.
That would be a good start.
Well, you have my authority to advance such operations at your leisure. It is not necessary in a hurry, but if you can make it look like an accident, then promote somebody more sympathetic to our organization, then I will know that my faith in you is well placed.
I don't think an accident would be the correct way. I think they have problems with druids to the north. That is the route I would go with it.
Yes. Framing the third party. It would prevent them from allying against us, which has always been a potential threat.
Mm-hmm. I will see what I can do, but I'll take it slow. No need to rush these things.
I agree that there is no need to rush. We are still tied up in Ilsfar, and until that city's rebellion can be quashed, we will not be in any position to expand our power further.
How is the rebellion?
It is going poorly. We have besieged Hillsfire, and the siege cannot be broken. It seems that Hillsfire's endless supply of gladiators are being used against us. Indeed, I feel that the best way for Ilsfar to fall would be for us to send in some a stable of gladiators of our own to get close to the mage that rules this city and to strike from within and remove him. For when this despot falls, then I believe that the city will fall along with him. But he is very paranoid and he rarely leaves his tower. It would take a extended operation of first infiltration and then extermination until the city falls through anything further than just the repeated application of brute force, which has not been fruitful to date.
But once I have Tilimar under control, I will look at heading up there and seeing if I can help the situation proceed faster.
Yes. It would be much appreciated. The buffoons that are running that operation are very inelegant, and I believe that your touch would be a divine inspiration.
Now, if that is all, my lord, I would ask for my leave.
Yes, I think that that shall be all. Perhaps there is some way that I can repay you beyond titles. Scrolls or potions, perhaps.
A scroll or some scrolls would be very welcome. I'm always eager to learn more of the magical arts.
Very good. We also have a large amount of smoke powder here. If you are getting short on your ammunition, then we can resupply that.
I was planning on heading to the storerooms before leaving. Still have to finish up with the delivery from the mines.
Very good then. That should be quite suitable.
Okay.
I will leave that in your hands then.
Thank you.
It is good to see faithful people that can be trusted.
Mm-hmm. All right. So after that, I'd head to the clerk, I guess. Storerooms,
Yeah,
whoever that would be.
yeah, absolutely. And they'll supply you with basically whatever you demand. Um, as much ammunition as you need, and or what specifically are you looking for in terms of magic?
I don't know, basically whatever. Yeah, I'll
6
find some
first
stuff.
level scrolls.
Sure.
Yeah. So take your pick of first level scrolls, and that's only going to set them back 150 or half of that since they made them themselves. So it's not a
Mhm.
huge investment.
Then I'll hand over one of the fake dossiers about how much gold we have that Flightless made.
I guess we would make a check here then.
Excellent.
Forgery kit.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And since it's an existing object, it'll have advantage because of expert forgery, I think. I guess
Yeah, and I would
intelligence?
have kind of shown you what it would have been like, and yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead and make the check. 16's pretty good.
There should have been one more. So it should have been with advantage.
Yeah, that'll be enough.
Yeah, there's 16. Did it with advantage that time, weirdly enough.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. It'll be they're not suspicious anyway, so you know a casual glance will be enough.
Alright, sweet. Then, yeah, so steal a bunch of gold from the Zentarum right under their nose.
Exactly. Yeah, and they have full faith in you, and they don't have the and they don't have the authority to question you anyway.
Yeah, this is fun. There should be evil characters more often.
Right. Next campaign I do with anyone, I want to be an evil player.
It's not evil to trick evil people.
No, I'm lawful evil.
Yeah, but I would say you're the only evil thing, I think, at the moment.
You guys don't mind me pursuing the Zentarum stuff, do you?
Doing what?
It's not intrusive.
Yeah.
Like, as long as you're not
I don't
straight up
mind.
executing like people we want to talk to, like it's not gonna like intrude too much.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only one that would have part of the problem with it, character-wise, would be Eleanor.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
But Artisan just wants to fight and apply his craft, doesn't matter who.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Although I do, in character, I do owe you for getting us out of that mess. So that is holding me back quite a bit.
Don't worry, she knows.
That's that lawful evil side of her taking advantage of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that would be about it here then.
Very good,
Head
very
back.
good, and yeah, you head back, and you're able to make those checks now if you want, Artisan.
Check time.
For the armor.
What was the
That's
question?
Voldemort. But I'm heading back to my office. One second.
Oh, cool. No worries.
Alright, so I'm also going to give myself guidance, even though it's probably redundant. So,
Doing a dwarven like song as you go along.
okay.
Yeah, you truly create works of art. Like these are spectacular. You can have them look like whatever you want. If you want to insert jewels into them, you know, what etchings, the whole hog. It's a work of art.
I'd be adorning Eleanor's with a lot of her filigree.
Yeah, great. Chalice of Seamorph and so on.
Flightless, do you have any preferences?
Guess there's like the outfit he normally wears. It'd probably be good if it matched that.
Just replicate the design of your outfit into the metal.
Yeah, pretty much, I guess.
Okay. Would you also want me to roll for working on the other things?
Yeah. What are the other things that we're doing?
So I still need half plate. If theirs are done, I needed half plate, and we're making 2 weapons along with a shield if we have time.
And the chalice is what I guess, right?
Yeah.
You don't worry about the weapons, but do the half plate and the chalice, yeah.
Uh, 11 days with a half plate.
Yep.
11 plus 11 is 22. I think should fit within a month.
Yeah, months to 30 days long, yeah.
Do you want me to roll that as well now?
Yeah. Make a check for the half plate. Make a check for the chalice, but you can't really fail. I'm really just trying to see how high you get at this point. 29 is fantastic.
It was actually at advantage for that, so I'll roll that one again.
Sure.
So 21 for the chalice.
Yeah, cool. So it's beautiful. It's magnificent. It's not legendary, which the armor is. But it makes sense that you would be more adept at armoring than I guess it's called jewel craft or whatever the technical term for silvercraft. Yeah, you do a great job by any measure, but the full plate is the masterpiece.
So we've got a little bit more time left, as long as you don't roll too high on the weapons.
Yeah, so it would be 2d4 for the weapon? Yeah.
Which weapon are you going to do first? Oh,
The halberd.
I just had to jinx
But
it.
that would be 30 days for one of my 2. So then the other one would be... So I actually have 2 days worth of crafting left for one other thing, I think.
Yeah,
Right.
sure. Yeah, because you're working double shifts basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's fine. It all fits into about a month. We don't need to be too pedantic anyway, so that's good.
Just rolled
Works out
5,
perfectly.
you just rolled 5 d4s and got the highest value on all of them.
Yeah.
Super magic missiles.
And both of our weapons are also 30s. Nice.
Magnificent. So yeah,
How?
works of art.
So you can increase the damage die with a maximum of 2d6 for the weapons.
Right, that's awesome.
So my halberd would be a d12 now instead of a d10.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, how would it be a D12? Yeah, that's fucking cool.
Would that make a great sword of 2d6, 2d8 rather?
I think it says maximum 2d6.
I was going to say.
Or is that?
Yeah, it is the same maximum 2d6. Yeah.
Yeah. So it
It's just
can't go
gone
above
in.
2d6.
Can't really enhance
You can
a great sword
do
this way.
Yeah.
if you on your sheet. Do you do damage 1 and damage 2? So it would be 2d6 added, or how does that apply?
It's not an extra 2d6. No, it's not like 4d6. No, it's just
Like
it-
upgrades the damage die.
Yeah. So a D10 becomes a D12. Yeah, 2d6 could potentially become 3d4, which is slightly better than 2d6, but yeah. I guess when I wrote the rules, I specifically, didn't want to have great swords that do 2d8 damage.
Here's a interesting thing that came to mind. So according to this, my regular attacks are 1d12 now.
Yeah,
My bonus action attack, which is d4, is that now a
Yeah,
d6 or is it still a
it
d4?
is. Yeah, now it'll be a d6 as well. Yeah, increase the damage die. Yeah.
Oh. Truly a legendary halberd.
Jeez, you just broke Polearm Master even more.
Yeah, You've got one of the best non-magical weapons in the game now.
Yeah,
Right up
click
there with the
down
Pegasus
the
Longbow.
Shadow Dale, make it a +1.
There we go. It's a good, yeah. It's a great idea. You have to have a great weapon, an excellent weapon in order to do that, and yours is truly excellent.
Do I think have time to head down to Shadowdale, do we?
Give,
Although even if we
have to
did,
give like an edgy name now, like you have like the Halberd of the Fallen One.
I'll name it when it's +1. I'll give it a name when it's +1.
Good idea.
Mm-hmm.
So we got everything done that we wanted to.
I think so.
You said a 1d8 weapon would do
A D8 weapon.
how
would be
much?
D10, I think.
Mm-hmm.
A d10. Would a short sword be 2d6 then?
No.
1d8.
No?
Yeah, that's right. D6 goes to D8. Yeah,
Okay.
D8 goes to D10. D10 to D12. D12 to 2d6.
Also, you feel 2d6 better than 1d12.
It is, yeah. 2d6 is better than 1d12. It has a minimum of 2, whereas a d12 is a minimum of 1.
Yeah. Well, you're more likely
Yeah.
to hit 12 on.
Yeah, the average on a average on a d12 is 6.5. The average on 2d6 is 7.
Mhm.
So it's 0.5 better. Yeah, it's not much, but it is definitely better.
And then all the armor is +1.
Oh, really?
Which is, yeah,
superior
increase
armor
its AC by +1.
Flightless went from 13 AC to 18, or 13 to 18.
Jeez.
Hey. Jeez.
You have more AC than me with my magic item.
And my AC is now 21.
Nice. Is that with your shield or without it?
With.
I'm gonna say, yeah, the multi-class, because I was worried about it not working out, and I think it's definitely worked out in my favour.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely
Did
shot
we
your
level up?
ability right up there. We're level 7 at the moment.
Yeah.
I think we've done
What
it.
does the shield count as? A medium? When crafting one.
What is the shield? We'll say that again. I don't really understand.
When crafting a shield doesn't count as light, medium, or heavy.
I think shields count as weapons. I think maybe.
For
I'm not
superior
sure.
armor craft, it says if you forge or craft a suit of armor or a shield.
Right. I'll have a look at the rules myself and see what I was trying to intend. Let's have a look. Arms and equipment guide. Superior. When you forge a suit of armor, make a tool proficiency, creating a suit of light. Superior shield or suit of light armor is an additional 100 gold. Yeah, so it counts as a light armor, shield and light armor. Use the same rules.
Okay. It would be 2d4 for that. Would we be able to add an extra week to our stay?
You can stay here as long as you want. Oh, I guess you. Yeah, I was going to say, but yeah, you're supposed to pay for it. But the dude has skipped town now, and he literally did skip town. That wasn't a joke. He really did. So there's no one stopping you from overstaying your stay. But you might want to give him some more money. But no one's going to kick you out.
Flightless was so awkward, someone left town.
Yeah.
Wow. So it'll be 6 days each on the shields.
Well, 6 days just in total, right? Because you can do them simultaneously.
Yeah, so it would be 3. Yeah, just an additional 6 days to our thing.
I got no problem staying.
It's fair enough.
Yeah,
Now
cool.
that I'm Lord Commander of the desert.
Yeah, right. I'm going to import something at this stage because I do have a a table that charts things that happen over monthly events. And because I used it for a group that took a full year downtime, they never got through the full year, and unfortunately that campaign has just sadly folded. But I've got the table, so it'll take me a moment to import it, and we'll give it a roll. Won't take too long, another 30 seconds or so.
One of them, the Lord of Dagger Falls, was assassinated in his sleep by a vicious panther.
It may be that. That certainly may be. There is definitely a Zentarum invasion on it. So,
Wait, so you just gotta walk back up and like, yeah, look what I planned. Look what I orchestrated in the background.
hell yeah. Monthly events, there it is. Cool. So these are, every month there are 3 events. One of them is local, one of them is regional, and one of them is like foreign, I suppose is the right word. So everybody start by rolling a d33 to see who gets to roll the events.
Is it last RD33?
That's right, yeah.
Natural 20.
Unnatural 20.
No, it's natural.
I guess it is. Yeah, no, you're right, it isn't natural. Yeah.
What are we rolling for? I just got back.
D33, we're rolling to see who gets to roll random events. So yeah, Lady Eleanor, we'll start with you. Roll a D30 now. 24. Okay. So, a secret shrine is founded. Doesn't give any further details than that. A secret shrine. Is it a shrine to Seamorph, maybe? Do you found a secret shrine, Lady Eleanor?
I suppose I'd have the free time, and perhaps founding this little shrine to Seamorph is part of my prayers of atonement.
And talking about, because that would make sense for what I'm planning to do, like at some point in the future.
Excellent. So
That's
some
like,
Cormyreans come to you, and tell you that they donate the gold and their time, and they say, look, this is what we want to do. We want to, make a shrine to the Cormyrean goddess of nobility. Will you support us? Will you help consecrate it?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Eleanor and Flightless, tell us the details of this secret shrine. Where is it? Or assuming that you don't have to pay for it, though, if by all means add some money to it if you want. What's its details?
Be something that we're together in a week.
Or a month, actually.
Yeah, true, a whole month. I
Yeah.
don't think we could get a whole structure built in a month, though.
Probably not.
Are there any
Unless it's
abandoned
already been
structures
started in your
Dagger Falls?
absence. Sorry?
Are there any abandoned structures in Dagger Falls that we could repurpose?
Yeah. There, if you are willing to buy it, there is an old Zent warehouse.
Well, I definitely love the irony of putting a shrine in there. How much would it cost to buy it?
All right. I have the property prices right here.
awesome. Flightless has literally 0 money. If you...
Yeah, I don't have any personal real money
so it's
myself.
so it's party wealth.
Yeah, so I have to make sure it's okay with everybody. I'm not going to just spend everybody's money.
It's not expensive. It's not expensive because it's a confiscated building. 250 gold for the old Zent warehouse.
Yeah, I think it's a reasonable price.
I was actually going to ask about buying that for storage of materials, but we could do the shrine in there.
If we add 50
Alright.
gold, we can get the map place and get all the maps within as well, I think.
I mean,
Right blade
yeah.
maps. We're going to become real estate agents now.
No, I mean,
Mhm.
I don't mean both of them. I mean, I'm just saying, if we get the map place, we might, because is it? Because my character can pretty much photocopy maps whenever we have like downtime.
Yeah, true.
It's just an idea. And I think the map place is close to the center of town.
It is.
It is, yeah. So I guess the warehouse artisan can use for his storage like he was gonna, and we can. If we buy the business, is that with the presumption that we're continuing the business, or are we repurposing
Not
it?
necessarily. You get all of the stock that's left behind, but you don't have to still operate it. You can shut it down the way any other business might when they buy land.
And the cool thing is, I can arcane lock both of the doors, so you can just.
Do we want to make both purchases? Get both?
We have plenty of gold.
Yes, this falls well within our budget to do so.
Is that a yes?
Mhm.
Alrighty then.
All right. You clear out the old Zentarum warehouse. So first of all, we'll deal with the calligraphy space. So you can see the stuff that you get: scrolls of comprehend languages, detect magic, identify, etc., etc. A whole bunch of maps. So you can take all of those scrolls, all of those maps. I'll share those maps shortly. The old Zent warehouse has a couple of giant spiders and giant swarm and rat swarm and bat swarm, but they're not a challenge for us, so we won't worry about such boring combat at our level. You find a healing potion dedicated to Cyric. Do you want to keep that?
Healing potion to Cyric.
Yeah.
Seems
Yeah,
like
That
'cause
doesn't sound like a trick at all.
This is the old Zent warehouse, you see. It's this is dates from the time when Cyric was still in charge of the Zentarum.
Absolutely not. I have no desire to keep this. I don't
I can
believe that
imagine,
it's.
like, the person who made it's like, it doesn't heal you, it heals, like, the Church of Cyric by removing you, so it's poison. Removing weakness.
So,
Can
do we keep
identify
it?
I suppose,
Do
if
we
you really want
smash
to know
it?
what it is.
Isn't he also a god of lies, so it's a survival poison?
So you have the identify spell. I'm actually curious.
It is a poison potion.
Yeah.
It removes weakness from the Church of Cyric.
You're absolutely right. You also find a jewelry box with a whole bunch of bloodstones, which are, as they sound like, red flecked gems. 66 bloodstones, each worth 100 gold. No, 10 gold. 10 gold. Fuck, that makes more sense. So what the fuck? Yeah, so 66 bloodstones, each worth 10 gold, and a scroll of Ray of Enfeeblement.
Nice.
So yeah,
Harnessing the power of the beholder.
The old Zent warehouse almost paid for itself with those
pretty
bloodstones.
much just absolute bargain. And yeah, we can now build our little shrine.
Just imagine with the person who technically owned that before we bought it, and we just walk in, it's like, look down on the floor, it's like, okay, dude, there's gems here.
Yeah, well, the Zentarum technically owns it, so they're not really coming to collect the rent in Dagger Falls.
Is there any, just curiously, is there any significance to bloodstones in terms of spiritual wise?
Uh,
Are they important
I
for any
guess each
particular
faith could have
rituals?
a different interpretation of what's one at all.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. They're black, and they're flecked with red, and yeah, they you could probably put them in weapons, for example. Yeah, good faith would use them for good reasons, and evil faith would use them for evil reasons, and so on.
See,
Yeah,
so I figured because they're called bloodstones and they're red, so makes
Yeah.
sense.
Do
That
the
which
flecks
one
of
to use.
blood like represent life, or like you've just killed someone? Like it could be either way.
precisely. Yeah, that's right. Like it's kind of open to interpretation. They have come a long way though. They've come all the way from Vasa or Damara in the far northeast, which lies beyond the Moon Sea. And this is what they look like. That's some examples of bloodstones.
Very nice. don't really have an opportunity to sell them. Not for the best price, seeing as the guy skipped town.
Yeah.
We can
Think
adorn
she
our gear
bought.
with it.
Yeah, or the shrine itself.
Yeah, true.
She gives a better deal for gems.
Oh, so she does. Yeah, we got scammed. Damn it.
Ah.
Although he got scammed when it came to that ring, so I guess both ways.
Yeah, it's all pretty good.
Complete meme, but if it's in the budget, can I get the bicycle?
Yeah, absolutely.
Bicycle. How much is it?
I don't remember, but I remember it exists.
Yeah, she'll sell you the bicycle. Let's see if it's listed here.
It's like an old penny farthing kind of bicycle, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
And Kenku on a penny farthing is the best mental image I've had in a while.
It's 100 gold, and then it's got a speed of 40.
A regular mount.
It has a little bell, so you can go bling, 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 bling.
Now, does it count as a mount as if it has its own speed, or does
It's a
the mount?
land vehicle.
Uh,
But yeah. Oh. I mean, the short answer is yes, but it probably takes a full round action to dismount or to mount. It's not easy to mount a penny farthing. They're bitches to get onto and off of. But yeah. You'd be able to travel at a speed of 80, like 40 and 40, without it taking an action.
And bonus action.
You know. Yeah,
20
something like that.
zoom along on a bicycle.
Precisely. Like, 'cause you're either using the pedals, or in some cases you're not even using the pedals. In any case, you can still make an attack with it. You can do some jousting on a bicycle.
I just imagine him like circling a battlefield, clinking arrows from a bicycle.
Throwing darts.
Yeah.
Do those assorted herbs get used in a miscellaneous section? There's enough herbs here to make 3 potions of healing.
We only have 2 of those left because we made one,
Alrighty.
Was a bit ominous.
but I can make the other 2.
Flightless will be going at 6.66 miles per hour.
People watching you cycle by, wondering if the traveling circus is in town.
Ha.
And what is
Kenku on a
Oh,
bicycle.
manacles. I've got a pair of manacles that can act like as budget. Like, well, it wouldn't even it'd be a pretty good like bike chain, wouldn't it?
I'm not sure.
Well, like,
Manacles as a bike chain? I guess so, yeah.
No, I'd be like the worst thing ever. The wrong
I
type of
think-
chain.
Yeah, probably the worst thing. Yeah, probably. Like, it's not very long, is it? You know.
I suppose. I mean, unlike modern day, like there probably isn't just like a light lamp post you can like, just like attach it to.
Oh, you
Probably
mean like
not.
a bike
Oh,
lock.
that sort of
Oh.
chain, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
like
makes
lock.
sense.
Yeah. I was thinking. Yeah. Yeah. That's security is very, very good.
You arcane lock a bicycle. Like lock the mechanism until he says a word.
That's it.
Funny.
All
Can't
right.
get that picture out of my head of him just clinking darts or arrows on it. That's hilarious.
Huh. Now I'm going to give Google a very big challenge here, and Google is going to fail me. Oh no, Google! You have come through with the goods. Oh, internet! The internet is the greatest invention
Is
of all
it the
time.
parrot riding a unicycle?
It's a crow riding a fucking penny farthing.
It exists.
That's exactly what I was after. It's out there. I can't believe it. I absolutely can't believe it. Here's the bigger image. I should have showed the bigger image. So like internet, you have not let me down. Absolutely love it.
Brilliant.
Really brilliant.
feel like this party wealth needs a new entry for real estate, a new category.
Yeah. Yeah, is there not one? I thought I put one in there.
I was going to put it in miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous, yeah. I should have put a property one in there, but yeah, that's an oversight on my part. Definitely be a property one.
Eric needs to make that his new token.
Perfect. It's so good.
I can imagine, because it's cartography, so they probably do like mail of some sort. Just imagine this thing coming up to you and handing you a letter and riding off.
Yeah. All right. Is there any further business we have in Dagger Falls?
Actually, just a little bit.
Did we have
Oh, sorry.
some more stuff to roll on? Or no?
What?
Didn't we have more stuff to roll on for the?
Oh, we did. Oh, thank you for reminding me. Like, I'm off with the fairies. Yeah. So who's next? What was the next house? I think that was Eleanor. Oh no, or rather it was Isabella. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. D30, please. I'm so glad you remembered. There we go. Elminster returns. Didn't even know he was gone. Elminster has gone to hell and come back again, and so he makes a special debut, return to Shadowdale, and you are invited down. They want to meet you in Shadowdale. You guys have made a big impact upon the local region. An Elminster returning. We'll call this one Elminster Invites.
God, this is perfect in so many ways. Firstly, that they're inviting Isabella, the wizard in the party. And second, it gives us a reason to go down to Shadowdale. We can get our weapons enchanted while we're there.
Absolutely, yeah.
Let's
I feel like
bring
this
the Lord
also has...
Commander of the Zentarum and go down to
Yeah.
Shadowdale. What could go wrong?
That's exactly right. Surely they will pass. Surely they will fail their insight checks. So yeah, a special.
Go ahead.
An invitation is extended for you to go down to Shadowdale and meet with Elminster and Storm Silverhand and Doug Falconhand and Lord Morngrim, a former knight of Mithranor. Your celebrity status has been secured.
Yeah, I was also thinking this is also like really important, like plot-wise, because I'm pretty sure that one of the things making the Zentarum hesitate about moving south was Elminster, and now he's returned. That's
Yes.
even more of a thing.
Uh-oh.
One last thing in Dagger Falls that I forgot because he wasn't in the chat at the time was we didn't make anything for Grimes, which I could do while people go down and visit Elminster.
Yeah, sure. Grimes, is there anything that you would like forged? Anything made?
Armor or weapons. He might not actually be in the chat right now.
He may not be.
I'll
Here we
take armor.
Heavy, medium, light.
I'll take heavy.
Heavy.
Like a suit of full plate or something?
Yeah.
All right. Do we mind spending an extra 15 days here or however long it's going to take?
I didn't know you wore heavy armor.
I'm a fighter. I'm a rune knight. If I help him make it, does that speed it up?
It's normally going to take 30 days, but we're able to cut it in half, partly due to your help. Now, technically, we are probably supposed to pay to rent this place for a little bit longer, another 900 gold pieces, but we don't have to if we don't want to.
Is it another 900? Well, it's 9 days to make his armor.
Oh, only 9 days? Then it's like another 300 then, yeah.
Wait.
Would be fair. Sure. Alright, let's go ahead and make the roll. Yeah, cool.
I'm sorry, I need 2 more D4 on that. Hold on.
Yeah, it's heavy.
Okay, 6 plus 9, 15 days.
Cool. And we'll give the third roll to Grimes. So Artisan, go ahead and make the check to see if you don't roll a 3. Lol.
What am I
Did
rolling?
And guidance.
Grimes, roll a d30. So /r space d30. And your set of armor is even grander, slightly, than Eleanor's. Cool, 25. Ah, how bizarre.
What kind of
Okay.
armor is that?
Elements to leaves.
That was the leaves. It's a full plate. But it's magnificent full plate. Like, it has whatever insignia you want, whatever engraving you want. Like if you want jewels put into it and so on. It's truly a work of art. So have
Also
a think.
+1.
Oh, right. It's not non-magical +1. Yeah, cool. All right. So back in Cormier, this is the regional event or the foreign event, whatever it's called, the one that doesn't directly affect us. Back in Cormier, all the way down to the south, there has officially been a split. Suzail is the capital. Marsemba is like the either the biggest city or the next biggest city. Jesna the Seeker, the head of the war wizards, has declared himself king and has set his court up in Marsemba. So there is now a king in Cormier. Just happens to be an usurper. Until the hidden king is found, then this will cause no small amount of confusion and chaos. As
Not
Jesna the
just a
Seeker,
usurper, also a filthy wizard.
a
Yeah.
filthy archmage usurper, the worst kind.
Gives me all the more reason to follow my original purpose for coming here.
Absolutely. So that might take us back to Cormier at some stage.
Wonder if that's ever happened before. The party's gone to Cormier.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
It has. Huh.
Yeah, we
yeah,
went.
Carl's been to Cormier. Yeah.
I fell asleep for 20 minutes and we're right back in Dagger Falls.
Yeah, I can't even remember how that happened. Like, we teleported or something.
Yeah, they got teleported, I think.
We'll go
Used a
there,
wish.
Tank who gets lynched.
Possibly.
Because I was gonna do something with the shrines.
All right.
Just
Yeah,
the
go
whole,
ahead.
Spiritual connection is new for him, so I
Yeah.
guess he'll spend like more time than usual, like I guess trying to commune with the shrine because praying is a new thing. You're trying to work out like what his duty should be, like what he should be doing.
Yeah, cool.
Happily instruct
Um,
you on the rites and ceremonies.
Because there's actually one ceremony which I think would be cool to play out, which would be like what is it? The ceremony of atonement.
What is that,
Each
the
creature
marriage?
whose alignment has changed, make a check, and you start its original alignment. I didn't realize your alignment had changed.
Not yours, I thought.
Not mine.
And plus, in
I-
any case, you did something very questionable. This might be a cool thing to do just to see him off approved, just get a direct answer.
Yeah, I was thinking about this myself. Yeah. Yeah, sure. I'm happy with that.
So I guess one day, like you walk in and he's like got the powder on the table, like preparing it, and he invites you to join the ceremony.
Certainly would partake.
I guess much like before with when he casts the Shield of Faith, he will, I guess, call upon Seamoth to speak through him, like during the ceremony.
very good.
And
Yeah.
because what would this atonement look like for like? I suppose it'd be maybe take the form of maybe a confession, like Seamorph like just ask like what crimes like Eleanor had committed and like what she would do to, like, I guess what she would do like reparations for these sins.
Yeah, the reparation is almost always a quest. Like the Holy Grail is the best example. But rather than just giving you a quest, we'll ask the party what sort of quest we want to do. Since it would be, unfair to say, well, you've got to go and dip your chalice in the font at Suzale if you guys as players don't want to go to Suzale. So yeah, what?
Like leave the party for a while, come back later.
Oh yeah, that
If
works
need
too.
be. I
Sure.
prefer not to, but if need be, then if it fits better to do that, then I will.
All right. Well, let's have we've still got a bit under half an hour to go. What do we want to do with the campaign next? We've got a few different leads. Are we going back to the mines of Tethymar?
We do have lots of leads indeed. We've got Mines of Tethymar, discover what's in the lower levels. We've got go down the Shadowdale for that invitation, meet Elminster, get stuff enchanted. What else? I guess for Isabella it would be to try and further her ambitions, ingratiate herself even more within the Zentarum. But I'm not sure what that would actually entail. There's the creature that was mentioned by the guy at the Silverwater staying. I think his name was. I can't remember his name. But he skipped town.
Yeah, the aqueduct. Yeah, but the aqueduct is basically on his land, so the place he skipped town to is where the aqueduct is. So that's an option, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's 3 different things we could do. We're probably going to do all of these things at some point.
I guess if you want to go way back, there's like the winged elf that got kidnapped at the start.
Oh yeah, that poor elf.
That'll be an Underdark quest if that's what we do. Yeah.
Probably have to be scaled up a little bit there, because I think we're intended to take that quest at like level 2 or 3.
But if you don't do the quest, then she gets taken into the Underdark. So that quest has already kind of been failed, and the stage 2 of it, if is getting it from the Underdark.
Also, is Isabella going back to Tethymar with her force, or sending them on their own?
I wasn't planning on traveling with them. I was figuring it'd take a little while to get them organized and situated to head over.
Mm-hmm. I would personally say we should finish the Tethymar stuff, but especially because we have a force to escort with Isabella, and I don't want to break up the party over that amount of distance.
Yeah, we do definitely have a lot of multiple objectives right now.
We can assassinate the mayor of Dagger Falls. It's another objective.
There's an objective. Nice holy Seamorph quest. Kill the noble.
Yep.
Seamorph is just like kill the lawful good noble.
The hyper paranoid lawful good noble. Clearly exterior Corspur.
Totally. Total spirit worshipper. He's killed people in his past, therefore he supports the god of murder.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Oh, it works, right?
That's right. Can confirm.
I mean, we worship the god of murder too.
I figure Tethymar, like if you're having to escort these soldiers there, or you're just traveling with them on their way there, if they're going now, then Tethymar would probably be top of the list.
Well, I didn't think I was traveling with them, but I don't know.
We're sort of expecting back there soon anyway.
Yeah, probably not, but if we want it to go that way, then we can make it go that way. And if you guys want to get there before they get there, then we'll do it that way. Whichever suits you more as players is fine with me. Since both are justifiable from a story point of view.
I was considering Shadowdale just simply to power up even more with the enchanted items.
While we're using downtime to get better stuff, stay on that path, and yep,
Yeah, I figured get all the downtime out of the way.
yeah,
Just power up as much as we can for now, and then return to the grind, so to speak.
yep. And we got to say the Amara. It may draw us into the Underdark, or even to another world, or anything for all we know, right?
There's a portal to
knows?
hell there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And speaking of, just because I could have been doing it at the same time, did Grimes want a weapon as well? Because we do have materials. And it wouldn't take any more time than making his armor.
What sort of weapon do you use, Grimes?
I use a +1 Warhammer right now.
Cool. So, if you wanted, we could make you a better Warhammer and get it, and then turn that better Warhammer into a +1 better Warhammer. It's going to cost a fair bit of money, but that's an option.
I'm okay.
Cool.
Then I guess next would be going to Shadowdale, meeting with them, and getting our stuff enchanted.
All right.
Sounds good. Although before we leave, I guess we'll sell whatever we still have left to sell. I think we've got some bloodstones we inquired. Got some opium. I'm not sure whether that's actually legal to sell or not.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they're a frontier libertarian town here, so drugs are generally frowned upon, but they're not illegal to trade in.
So one last thing to do with the ritual. Towards the end of it, he will come up quite close and just because he needs to judge whether or not you, I guess the intent, whether or not you're true to the. Because I need to make the insight check.
Right.
With the insight, it's really because he's normally pretty passive, but when he stares into you, it seems like he sees all of you and almost like he can see your thoughts, and it's quite a strange feeling, I guess. And I guess,
A bird looking into your soul.
yeah, basically. Let's see if he is pleased. I will use my inspiration.
Sure. DC's 20, isn't it?
It's 20. So what? I guess is
It's so fucking high. I don't know why the DC is so high for that thing.
I guess is there doubt in Eleanor's mind?
I mean, I can. If I knew you were going to make a check, I could have contributed.
Hmm.
With,
It's like, trust me. I will help you to convince you that I am not lying.
I suppose
I can
her
also,
being
I'm-
genuine. I suppose her being genuinely trying to redeem might be something. It's one winning
think it's
creature. That's always going to be the case.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? DC 20 does seem a bit unreasonably high.
So high. There's not many things that are DC 20 in the game.
If I'm there, I can flash a genius it and add 3.
Sure, we'll go with that. Then we'll just say that it passes.
Yeah, so he looks into Eleanor's soul and he is pleased.
Yeah.
Breaking the tradition, he will hug Eleanor, seeing
Ah.
her being like a genuine spark of good in the world.
Hey, I give the bird a big hug and ruffle his feathers.
Yes, best of all, Seamorph is pleased with her followers. We did the
Everybody's
ritual
happy.
correct.
Yeah, and we made our own shrine. So
Speaking
a
of,
lot
what
to be
might the
pleased with.
quest be?
Yeah.
Although, I suppose I can always find out next time.
Yeah.
Although if you have any suggestions, then now's a good time to bring it up because I might not think about it between now and then.
I suppose
So
maybe because the crime was giving up something he wasn't really prepared to give away. So maybe it being maybe not a quest, but there's a rededication to not being deceitful and telling the truth.
Well, I mean, I've already given away my soul. I can't see what more I could give away. Although I was pressured into doing that.
I guess
Yeah.
the quest
Oh,
is
that's
playing your soul.
that's what I wanted. I'm glad that I thought about this and now it's come up to it. So Seamorph tells you that she's not angry. The atonement is necessary, but she doesn't disagree with what you did because you did the noble thing, you did the chivalrous thing, you did the self-sacrificing thing. You sacrificed your own soul for the good of the party. And so, ironically, by basically putting your soul on the line and taking the burden on yourself, you fulfilled her dogma by doing the noble sacrifice for. Like I wish I had great words for it when I first thought of it, but basically, what you did was not out of line according to her specific dogma, because you sacrificed your own soul, and yeah. Again, if I think of better words next week, then I'll come up with them. But that was the conclusion I came to. Yeah, was that you actually acted within the tenets of the religion by doing what you did. Ironically enough.
I'm certainly flattered and reassured to hear that from my deity.
Yeah. Because she is a lawful neutral god, not a lawful good god, and you did what you had to do, and that's the definition of chivalry, or one definition of it.
Yeah, I put my pride aside, sacrifice my soul.
Yes.
All for the sake of my companions.
Precisely.
Not really a more noble thing you could do in that situation.
Exactly. That's right. That's right. Yeah, you know, and yeah. So I'm glad that you can see the perspective that I was trying to draw on.
Well, then my previously somewhat defeated eyes and gloomy disposition is greatly improved.
Yeah, and the other thing was that you never actually betrayed her. You know, like you said the words, but you stayed faithful to her. You still hated Bane. You know all of these things. So, you wore the veil when it was necessary. You gritted your teeth and played the game. And part of being in a court means engaging in courtly intrigue, and sometimes, honestly, that means lying. So, but you stayed true to your values, even at the risk of your own soul. Yeah. So I hope that makes sense.
Yeah. I guess if anything, the atonement is for the lie spoken to Bane, I guess, because I did swear an oath never to lie.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm asking forgiveness for the lie, because I lied to Bane that I would serve him.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I suppose another quest could be maybe to assist in the finding the lost heir, like if we wanted to go that way.
Yeah, I guess, if I could receive some encouragement to continue my quest to find the missing heir. Or perhaps a hint that he's still alive, or whatever information a deity could offer.
Because with what's happening, because what happened in Cormia, they might, put some pressure on the gods to send out their champions.
Maybe. But if I didn't do anything wrong in Seamorph's eyes, I suppose there's no need for a holy quest, really.
Yeah. Well, there still kind of is. There still is some sort of atonement to be made. Like, but She might, again, that's lawful neutral. She might never have stopped loving you. You might never have really violated anything, but there are certain things that are required, right? You know, you've still got to do your walk of shame.
Yeah, I did, as I mentioned, break my oath never to tell a lie. So there's still an oath
Yeah,
broken, even if it was for a good cause. I guess I'm trying to think of a good example. Like breaking the law to do the right thing is still breaking the law.
precisely. Exactly right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
The
And
Stannis Baratheon position.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because
because he's a classic lawful neutral.
I guess for people who don't know, it's he was like besieged, and a smuggler brought in food, and so he didn't die of starvation. So he made the guy a lord, and then cut off 3 of his fingers or something.
Yeah.
He saved everyone here, but smuggling's a crime.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right. You did the right thing, but it was in violation, and therefore there must be punishment. Otherwise, we're being hypocritical.
And a
One
punishment that
thing,
I freely accept.
one correlation that I draw, even though it's probably useless at this point, so many
Sure.
correlations have been made. I'm reading a book, but the dude defied an order in order to save the lives of hundreds of people, but he still had to take his lashes, but then was rewarded as well.
Yeah, and building on exactly what you just said, there's a story in 40k where an Imperial Guardsman uses like a Tau or a Necron weapon, I think a Tau weapon, to kill a monster that was, killing fucking heaps and heaps and heaps of people, and he basically saved a city and was executed for using Xenos equipment.
Sounds about right.
And then they put up the
Yeah.
statue, I guess.
Yeah, I think something like that. Like he was honored as a hero and executed for as a traitor. Yeah,
A heretic's no joke, man.
heretic. Yeah,
Martyrdom.
yeah,
Yeah, I guess some thought can be given over the week to what my punishment might be. I'm not
yeah,
sure what, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that would be
yeah,
appropriate.
yeah. Maybe. Oh, how's this? Reconsecrating the dwarven shrine back in Tethiamar.
There you
Or
go.
They,
removing
they
Bane's influence and making it holy again.
exactly right. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they took away the dwarf part and put in the bane part. You've got to restore it.
Sounds good.
And I guess for
That sounds
Seamorph's
good.
part, like it could like at the end be seen as Seamorph like teaching a lesson, even though it was like destroyed by Bane, it can be fixed. Just like
Yeah.
Bane's like invaded you, but it can also be fixed.
Yeah, and it doesn't bother Seamorph. Like she was never worshipped by the dwarves anyway. It wouldn't be rightful to put a Seamorph shrine in there. The rightful thing to do is to restore the dwarven nobility.
You can also slip the lessons like things can be restored to what they used to be.
Yeah, sounds good. What level spell is consecration? Out of curiosity. Not sure if it's available to me or not.
I don't know either.
Let me look.
I think it's level 1 though. Hello, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's only available to clerics.
5th level.
Oh, it's 5th level. Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Wow.
That's far beyond my casting capabilities.
You might need to. Yeah.
I think I only get 5th level spells at like 17th level as a paladin.
Something like that. Yeah.
I guess we could always when we get to the appropriate level, just make like a cup of consecration or something.
Yeah. Or yeah. You take a scroll or something.
Is the spell I'm thinking of, isn't it?
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. Hello. Yeah. 1st level.
Well, you're only 1st level cleric though, aren't you? You're multi-classing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think I'm gonna get much more.
No. Yeah, I guess Hallow's always going to be out of our reach then, unless it's a spell scroll. But a 5th level scroll is going to be quite expensive.
And I better pass that check.
Yeah, I'm not sure how
Although-
we would accomplish Hallow, casting the actual
Is,
spell Hallow.
Is casting spells like a spell scroll a skill check?
Yeah, if it's higher level than what you can normally cast, then
No,
yes.
but I mean,
Not a level check, or whatever you call it, an attribute check.
okay, so
Mm.
I wonder,
No
like, could I
proficiency.
use reliable talent?
If reliable talent boosts proficiency, then no. But if it boosts attribute, then yes.
I think it boosts stuff with your proficiency bonus, but no.
Yeah, and there's no proficiency bonus on that check, so
I could do guidance and plasticenia. That's all I can add to it.
Mhm.
That would probably be pretty good because what is it? I need a 15 to succeed.
Yeah.
So casting a 5th level spell is easier than casting a 1st level ceremony spell.
Yep.
Well, casting, I think it'd have to be cast by me though, seeing this is my quest. I'm not sure if having somebody do it on my behalf would have the same, if it would really count.
Well, if you fix it up and then have them finish it.
absolutely. Yeah, can confirm that is fine. You know, like the Knights of the Grail can't be expected to do a priest's job, if you know what I mean. Like the Knights of the Grail get the Grail, but then it's up to the priest to fill it with holy water or whatever.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the
Alright
Holy
then.
Paladin before the forces of evil with his army, and Simon goes, "Well, it's your quest," and just watch him get wrecked by the army of demons.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, fair enough. So if that's
Yeah.
my quest to hollow that shrine, then I'll find a way to do it.
Very good. Very good.
Straight from the Kenku's mouth.
So is next week going to, when we start off, we're going to Elminster's Tower?
Shadowdale, yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yay.
Has anyone here done the Elminster Tower quest before?
No.
Unfortunately, I was in the campaign where it happened, but I was absent that one session.
Then
Alright.
I might have been the only one who was there then.
I
Oh,
was
so you have done it? Oh,
Yes.
you've both done it. Cool. Okay, cool. Well, that's that means that we won't do it then. That like we'll say that Elminster has returned. Otherwise, I might have just had Elminster. I don't know. I might have changed it a bit. But yeah, no, if you guys have already done it, then we won't do it again.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. Do we want to say goodbye to the internet then?
We do.
Well, goodbye internet.
Goodbye.
It's been fun. It's been a
Thank you, everyone.
impactful session.
Goodbye.
See you later, everyone.
Yeah.